Hello everybody and welcome to this pre-recorded piece of the pre-race show as well. And let me tell you something. Right now, as I record this for the pre-show, Formula 3 are out there racing. I'm delighted to tell you it's raining! The most boring race of the year has got rain. Do you know what that means? We are in for an absolute dogfight. We're in for a great race here today. Slippery track conditions as well. Track temperature is still high enough out there as well. However, as we have seen, we are going to have this unusual situation where rain's going to stay throughout the day as well. And we are going to see an 80% chance of rain when the race starts. If you're watching along with us, we'll go through what's happened in all the practice sessions and join live 5 minutes before the start of the race as well. But this is going to be a great, great race. I've never thought I'd say that about France at all in my life. So let's get straight into it then and take a look at what happened in the pre-practice and qualifying reports. But first of all, let's take a look at the Drivers and the Constructors' Championship. It's the 2021 French Grand Prix here at Le Castellet, back on the calendar for the first time since 2019. And what a venue it follows as well. After being in Azerbaijan 2 weeks ago to our third different winner of the year in 6 races with Sergio Perez, the championship is hotting up. We're into our first triple header as well. Next weekend we move over to Austria, first of all for the Styrian Grand Prix. A week later will be the Austrian Grand Prix before a week's break for the British Grand Prix on the 18th of July. Delighted to say with fans as well. Hungary on the first weekend in August, then a summer break before Belgium, before flying off again into a second triple header with the Netherlands and Italy before a break before Russia. We have a to be confirmed race on the first weekend in October due to the coronavirus pandemic cancelling the Singapore Grand Prix. We'll see what gets replaced there. Then definitely on the 10th of October we have the Japanese Grand Prix. The 24th of October is in the USA, Mexico on the 31st, Brazil on the 7th of November, Australia the 21st, and then in December the 5th it's Saudi Arabia before rounding out the season on the 12th of December in Abu Dhabi. In the Drivers' Championship, it's status quo in the front. No points scored in Baku for Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton. Sergio Perez closes the gap up in third on 36 points back on 69. Lando Norris just a couple back on 66. Then a little bit of a break before we see another battle developing in the middle field between Charles Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas, Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo all closing up on each other. On the second page is a fight between the two Alpines. Fernando Alonso a point ahead of Esteban Ocon. Then it's the battle with Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda, and both Alfa Romeos only have 1 point to their name. Still no points for Mick Schumacher, George Russell, Nikita Mazepin or Nicholas Latifi. And in the Constructors' Championship, it's Red Bull leading the way by 26 points to Mercedes. Ferrari and McLaren in an interesting battle for third. The battle for fifth between AlphaTauri and Aston Martin. Throw in as well Alpine. And then Alfa Romeo only on 2 points. No points scored at all for Haas or Williams yet. Verstappen versus Hamilton down to turn 1. We're in for a battle for the 2021 French Grand Prix. So let's start then with the first practice report, and as ever it was a very interesting session. Valtteri Bottas was top of the board as well. Continued Mercedes running of topping every single session at the Paul Ricard circuit since it returned in 2018. He was only 3 tenths quicker than Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen and Perez third and fourth. Esteban Ocon rounding out the top 5 as well. There was a spin for Haas's Mick Schumacher down at turn 3, lightly touching the wall. Luckily, he was able to get out okay and get back to the pit lane. Vettel also had a moment. He spun his cars backwards into the wall at turn 11. Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly, Verstappen and Bottas and Tsunoda all spinning down at turn 15. Bottas also off at turn 1, the same as Verstappen, breaking off parts of their cars and hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of damage also done to them as well. Ocon also came back on. He's just signed a new 4-year contract, was off already. He had a little bit of a spin as well. Alonso in the Alpine as well was P7. It was a calm first session. Let's take a look at the times. So it's Valtteri Bottas who tops the first practice session on 1:33.448. Lewis Hamilton is second on a 1:33.783. Then we get Max Verstappen third on 1:33.880. Sergio Perez is fourth on a 1:34.193. Esteban Ocon P5 on a 1:34.329. Danny Ricciardo P6 on a 1:34.644. Fernando Alonso P7 on a 1:34.693. Pierre Gasly is 8th on a 1:34.699. Lando Norris 9th on a 1:34.707. Yuki Tsunoda rounds out the top 10 on a 1:34.847. Charles Leclerc is 11th on a 1:34.950. Antonio Giovinazzi is 12th on a 1:35.116. Kimi Raikkonen 13th on a 1:35.135. Lance Stroll is 14th, 1:35.275. Sebastian Vettel 15th at 1:35.289. Carlos Sainz 16th at 1:35.342. Nicholas Latifi 17th at 1:35.612. Nikita Mazepin 18th at 1:36.651. Mick Schumacher 19th on a 1:37.329. And Roy Nazani is 20th at 1:37.881. On to free practice 2 then, and for the first time at the Castellet, it was a Red Bull who topped the timesheets. Mercedes topped every session here since 2018. That has ended. They were knocked off the top step of the podiums as well. Verstappen fastest, 0.008 of a second faster than Valtteri Bottas. Lewis Hamilton in third, followed by Fernando Alonso fourth, and Charles Leclerc P5 as well. Esteban Ocon, his teammate, was down in P6. Ocon's French compatriot of Pierre Gasly, who was down the end with a new engine this weekend in the Honda. He was down in P8 7th ahead of Carlos Sainz in P8 as well. Sainz on the mediums and soft in FP2, trying to see exactly what would be the best situation to run for. Rounding out the top 10, Kimi Raikkonen 9th and Lando Norris in 10th place as well. A calm session for everyone out there as well. It was an interesting one in terms of the fact that there was a lot of spins, a lot of action, a lot of cars still trying to find the right grip around the track. But it's pretty much uneventful. But certainly, it did fly by. Let's take a look at the times then from FP2. Max Verstappen tops the second practice session then here at Portugal on a 1:32.872. Valtteri Bottas is second on a 1:32.880. Lewis Hamilton is third on a 1:33.125. Fernando Alonso is P4 on a 1:33.340, followed by Charles Leclerc in fifth on a 1:33.550. Esteban Ocon is P6 on home soil at 1:33.685. Pierre Gasly P7 on a 1:33.696. Carlos Sainz P8 on 1:33.698. Kimi Raikkonen 9th on a 1:33.786. Lando Norris rounds out the top 10 at 1:33.822. Antonio Giovinazzi is 11th on a 1:33.831. Sergio Perez 12th on 1:33.921. Yuki Tsunoda is 13th on a 1:33.955. Danny Ricciardo 14th on a 1:34.079. Sebastian Vettel 15th on a 1:34.447. Lance Stroll is 16th on 1:34.632. George Russell 17th on 1:35.266. Nicholas Latifi 18th on a 1:35.331. Mick Schumacher 19th on 1:35.512. And Nikita Mazepin is 20th on a 1:35.551. On to the final practice session and a free practice 3, and let me tell you, this surprised everybody. Verstappen top again, as he has been in every single free practice 3 so far this year, but he was top this time by 7.5 tenths of a second over Bottas. He was second, with Sainz third, Perez fourth, and Hamilton in fifth place as well. So a big surprise there that Verstappen has managed to get up that much speed as well. Nice to see. The Alpines on the timing screens, they slid back. Alonso and Ocon 7th and 8th on the running order as well. Lando Norris rounded out P6. Sainz back in the top 3. Surprising Ferrari. Maybe they will have some pace after all at this track as well. Only time will tell. But free practice 3 did show us one thing. It's not going to be a simple walkover for Mercedes this weekend. Red Bull have got the car. Despite the flexi wing change, they're here and they mean business. Let's take a look at the times then from FP3. So it's Max Verstappen who tops the third practice session on a 1:31.3. Valtteri Bottas is second at 1:32.047, a staggering 7/10 behind Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is P3 at 1:32.195. Sergio Perez fourth at 1:32.238. Lewis Hamilton is in fifth on a 1:32.266. Lando Norris P6 at 1:32.336. Fernando Alonso P7 at 1:32.624. Esteban Ocon in P8 on a 1:32.681. Pierre Gasly 9th on a 1:32.707. Daniel Ricciardo rounds out the top 10 on a 1:32.759. Charles Leclerc P11 on 1:32.820, followed by Antonio Giovinazzi on a 1:33.017. Then it's followed by Lance Stroll in 13th on a 1:33.051. Sebastian Vettel 14th on 1:33.2. Kimi Raikkonen is 15th on a 1:33.328. George Russell in 16th place on a 1:33.364. Yuki Tsunoda is 17th, 1:33.424. Nicolas Latifi 18th at 1:33.584. Mick Schumacher 19th at 1:34.143. And Nikita Mazepin 20th at 1:34.642. Let's go through then what happened and start as ever with qualifying 1 for the 2021 French Grand Prix. Verstappen was fastest, but 2 red flags in the first 5 minutes. Yuki Tsunoda, for the 3rd time this year, put it into the wall as well. Unfortunately, he was unable to restart the car down at turn 1. So he qualifies last with no time on the board. Then also in the dying moments of qualifying 1, it was Mick Schumacher who crashed heavily into the wall, breaking up the front and rear suspension. There was a suspicious around the paddock that he was having a suspected gearbox change. I can tell you right now, it's just been made official, no gearbox change needed for Mick Schumacher. He'll start this race in 15th, his highest ever grid position. Further down the order as well, as much as you see it on the board, it was Verstappen who was strong early on as well. However, for Lance Stroll, had his first lap time deleted for exceeding track limits, went for a second run, with 2 minutes to go, backed out of it after not doing well in the first sector, and then out came the red flag. So he never set a time. He's been allowed to start though. So knocked out, we saw Latifi, Raikkonen, Mazepin, Stroll and Tsunoda from qualifying 1. On to qualifying 2 then, and it was Ocon who missed the cut at his home circuit as well, just as Mercedes went back to the top of the boards. Mediums were the compound of choice for the starting tyre. Not that that's going to matter now with a wet track. Whether or not it'll dry in time for the race, we'll find out and give you the report when we're back live. But right now, it was certainly going to be a medium tyre starter at the moment. Everyone looking to do a 2-stop strategy tomorrow rather than a 1-stop. That's going to be exciting for everybody as well. Hamilton set the early pace, sneaky ahead of Perez, but Bottas was fastest in qualifying 2. But down the order as well, Esteban Ocon was just a 10th off of making it to Q3. He was eliminated along with Vettel, Giovinazzi, Russell, and Schumacher never took part in that session after crashing in qualifying 1. On to the top 10 then in qualifying 3, and What a great race it was for qualifying. A 1:29.990. Max Verstappen taking pole position by about 2-3 tenths nearly to Lewis Hamilton in second. Bottas is third, followed by Perez, Sainz, Gasly, Leclerc, Norris, Alonso and Ricciardo. Everyone improving on their runs as well. Norris actually backed out of his second run time as well to save a set of tyres. That's worked out well. But it's Verstappen on pole, followed by Hamilton. Okay, so we are going now to cross over to the live commentary box as well. Ian Birch and Megan Birch joining me for the race as well. It's hopefully still wet out there. So let's, first of all, before we cross over live, take a look around the circuit Paul Ricard with lap attack. But after that, on the other side, it'll be the 2021 French Grand Prix at Le Castellet. Let's take a look around the Castellet, a 3.630 mile circuit, 15 turns around this track as well, 53 laps ahead of the drivers on Sunday. Get a good exit out of the last corner and then hammer it down the straight. Your top speed as you approach the braking zone. For turn 1, 8th gear, 330 kilometers an hour. Brake hard for turn 1, down to 4th gear at 165. Rise it up for the flat out kink at 2, 5th gear, 200. For into the braking zone for turn 3, a 4th gear corner at 165 kilometers. Brake that down once again as well. 2nd gear, just 95 kilometers an hour. Back it back up again as you round turn 5 and 6. Hold it in 4th gear at 155 kilometers. Turn 7 before the straight at 6th gear, 270. Open up the DRS and now flat out into the braking zone of 8 and 9. 3rd gear, 340 kilometers an hour. Back down to 3rd gear, 145. That averages back out again up to 105 at the exit in 3rd gear after braking mid-part way through, before you head down after the Mistral straight toward Capsa at turn 10. Flat out to the Sainz corner now. 8th gear, 320 into the heavy braking zone, slightly for turn 11 and 12. Drop down while braking and turning as well, not easy. Down then all the way to 5th gear. Rise it back up for 13, 14 and 15 into a 7th gear, 290 kilometers an hour. Back down into 3rd. Rise it back up into 14 and 15. A tight little infield section that's the same on whatever layout you have. Then down the trickiest corner of the track. 2nd gear, 85 kilometers an hour. Accelerate out of the last corner. Boot it hard. And that's a lap of the 3.630 mile circuit of Le Castellet. Hello everybody and welcome to Paul Ricard for the 2021 French Grand Prix. France is the birthplace of motor racing. And with that, we have got a layout that can have 167 different variations. The Circuit Paul Ricard is where we base ourselves today for the 2021 French Grand Prix. It's a 3.63 mile circuit, top speed 213 miles an hour. Your average speed is only 140. It's a pretty flat circuit as well. Elevation changes at 30.4 meters. There's 15 turns as well, and navigating the start in dry conditions is difficult. Just ask Vettel and Bottas back in 2018 making contact. And the same down at turn 3 as well. We saw Ocon versus Gasly having a little bit of a mistake as well. And down also on the last lap back in 2019, it was Norris, Ricciardo, Raikkonen and Hülkenberg all delivering us with some great action late on in the race. In terms of the tyres that we need to keep an eye on in this race today, the soft is the C4, the medium is the C3, the hard is the C2 tyre compound. Let's take a look then at how they will line up on the grid for the 2021 Formula One Emirates Grand Prix de France. It is another pole position for Max Verstappen, a 1:29.990 in qualifying. He puts him alongside Lewis Hamilton. The second row, Valtteri Bottas, is alongside Sergio Perez, a strong backup for these two at the front. The third row, Carlos Sainz alongside Frenchman Pierre Gasly, coming back to his home circuit as a race winner. Row 4, Charles Leclerc is alongside Lando Norris as well. And the 10th positions on the grid filled by Danny Ricciardo, as well as Fernando Alonso starting P9 on the 5th row. Row 6 in 11th and 12th, Esteban Ocon alongside Sebastian Vettel, once again denied a Q3 entrance here at the French Grand Prix. Following back, row 7, Antonio Giovinazzi starts 13th. George Russell, one of his highest grid slots in 14th, his highest of his career. Mick Schumacher starts in 15th alongside Nicholas Latifi in 16th. The 9th row, Kimi Raikkonen is 17th alongside Nikita Mazepin in 18th place as well. And 19th and 20th, Lance Stroll, but Yuki Tsunoda with a gearbox change as well after a crash yesterday in qualifying means that he now starts right at the back of the grid alongside me in the commentary box. As you can probably tell, hopefully, for the first time in a couple of races as well, and all weekend as well, because he hasn't been well. It's a happy Father's Day to Ian Birch. It's a good afternoon, just a hello, because I only saw you about 2 minutes ago from the MotoGP for Megan Birch.
Yes, and I was wondering, I thought Lando was in 7th.
Yeah, they've changed positions, haven't they? So Lando's down in P8 now as well, so they've changed over just a little bit.
Why?
But that's what I want to know, why as well. There's been no grid penalties issued, so we'll keep across of all that information, hopefully ASAP, as I zoom that back down. Let's take away that because it's giving me an awful buzz in my ear as well. But we are live here as well, and hopefully, if this has worked correctly...
Martin did a grid walk.
I know, I was so happy that Martin did a grid walk. Unsurprised exactly how much happy.
And some of the drivers have been around without face masks in certain interviews.
Really? That's a surprise, actually. Good that they've been allowed them to go that far. Hamilton saying, I'm going to go across to him to the left.
Expect him to go to the right then.
Yeah. Let's take a look quickly at the group chat then for the French Grand Prix. Get Good says, sup. Well, hello to you as well. And Beth saying as well, what was that?
Go on then.
Megan, you can speak French. Translate for us.
I'm tremendously excited.
I am.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. I am tremendously excited. What, for this Grand Prix? I hope I'm saying that right.
I am practically paralysed.
See, already.
Is that right, Beth?
I hope that's right, yeah. We've got our chat as well.
I'm better at Spanish.
And also, we'll have throughout the race as well our driver tracker in operation. However, the driver tracker doesn't have the lap counter.
We
so
was actually
we'll switch
lost
between
in
them
France.
Yeah.
On many occasions.
See, I'm better at Spanish than I am French.
Do you know, I was all the driving all the driving I've done in France, I've always had no trouble with the fact that it's the on the right-hand side of the road.
Yeah.
Until we were in Boulogne Harbour once, and the local ferry company had put up English signs, and I forgot. I turned around, turned the van down a side street, and it was on the wrong side of the road. But luckily, it was an English guy coming the other way, and he shouted, "Yeah, it's those signs, isn't it?" And I agreed with him.
Megan, just talk us through the pit stop predictions.
Right, so the predicted pit stop strategy is if you're a one-stop on hards, you pit lap 18 to 25. Whereas if you're a one-stop and you want to go on to mediums, it is 25 to lap 20. No, not 26. Lap 36. It would be bad if you had one lap pit strategy with everyone in the pits all at once.
Dad, we're on the formation lap now. We were watching the Formula 3 race this morning. Biblical conditions out there this morning, but it's dried out, sun shines out.
It was weird because they went to the grid and it was like this, and a bit overcast and a bit, but it was still quite 24 degrees.
Yep.
25 degrees at that time. And then all of a sudden, 5 minutes before the start of the race, the heavens opened. Tremendous downpour for 8 minutes, and the crews, remember, they don't have pit garages. They're just trying to change to wet tyres, taking taking the top off and adjusting the ride height, which you have to do on the F3 cars, the Dallara cars, and they got it done fantastic. We all thought, this is F3, it's going to be murder. They were brilliant. Those young drivers were very professional this morning, and I think there was less incident than there was in recent Formula 1 races.
A lot more overtakes, and I'm actually slightly disappointed as well that right now we've got the situation on the track where it's dried out. However, as Megan, we saw in qualifying, blisters are going to be a problem if you go off the racing line a lot.
Yes, and which one of McLaren's
Danny Rick.
Danny Rick has something on his front left tyre, I've just noticed. It doesn't seem like a major problem, though. I'm guessing they're used.
Yeah, they
And
look
a
like
message,
it, yeah.
a message for Beth. I don't know if you were watching, Beth, but it was a good day this morning on the feature race for Australia because Mick Doohan's son Jack won.
And in the I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I advise you all go and watch the MotoGP race that we just had because it was an absolute cracker as well. And certainly, I'm sure you were watching. I don't know if you know the result.
I
or not.
haven't watched it.
Okay, so that's great news. Yeah.
Because it's Father's Day and I've got more daughters than this and more sons than this.
We're coming to the grid then for the start of the French Grand Prix.
They're in the front room.
Oh, nice. 25.3 degrees here at the Circuit Paul Ricard in the Castellet. Who is it going to be? We have a entitled front row of Verstappen and Hamilton. We have 5 red lights on, and it's action at the Castellet. Good start from Hamilton. Good start as well from the front 2 rows. Verstappen moves across, gets ahead down towards turn 1. Bottas fighting with Perez. Perez backed off. Verstappen's off the track. Has to go over the 2 bollards as well to get back on. Hamilton leads. A little bit of a mistake there, and it's cost him. Hamilton leads. Verstappen down into second place. We've got drama further back as well. Bottas looks like he's smoking the rear tyres. Cars going off left and right. Mick Schumacher taking the escape road. Mazepin continues on, and they all continue trying rounds. Alonso battles with Danny Rick.
This certainly doesn't feel like a race for some reason. It just doesn't feel like it because, you know, it's France when it comes to all the things, because you expect barriers and stuff where it's just open road and it's...
Side by side, further back, Esteban Ocon trying to get through on Danny Ricciardo, trying to go around the outside. Surely that's contact into 3 abreast. And that is actually Charles Leclerc sending it right round the outside of Ricciardo Alonso. And he got through Ocon there as well after he dropping back. So Leclerc's a man on a mission at the moment at the front as he's having to defend again down the second half of the Mistral straight against Alonso, trying to go around the outside into Sainz.
Further down the order, Vettel has passed Giovinazzi, and even further down the order, Tsunoda has passed Mazepin to get 19th place.
Alonso's too slow in parts of the track as well. Ricciardo was all over at the back of him as well, edging up as well as the 2 McLarens go side by side. Lando Norris trying to go right round the outside of Danny Ricciardo. He shuts that door. Ricciardo goes a little bit too wide at the exit.
Do you know what? I think that the start of the race...
No investigation necessary for that Verstappen manoeuvre.
Verstappen... Actually, I think he got his rear wheel on the white line or the blue line, and I think he did a tremendous job to keep it on. But I want to see a replay of that because that's what I saw.
Alonso trying to go on the outside of Leclerc into turn 1, not paying off. McLaren flying off the road. Which one was it? It's Lando Norris.
It's Lando.
So Lando trying to get around Danny Rick. Danny Rick's not giving up, is he, at the moment? He's trying to hold on to that top 10 position.
Why would Danny give up?
Oh, exactly, I know. But in terms of the fact he's actually just pushing so much on the front there.
He's getting used to that car.
Hamilton?
Lewis.
Oh, Hamilton wanted to know his left rear. So check my left rear.
He did have a little bit of a nudge with Verstappen when going
Round the corner, yeah, turn 1.
And especially when taking off, they kind of collided into each other. So that strategy of Hamilton's kind of backfired a bit.
Very unusual lights out as well. The lights were on extremely quick as Sebastian Vettel locks up at the Mistral straight chicane, trying to get through on Esteban Ocon. He manages it, but they both sort of had a little bit of a moment, but a good move there from Vettel. He's up to 11th.
And I've just noticed I'm still standing, and I don't really want to not stand right now. So I find that unusual.
And look at that. Ocon sends it up the inside, down to the Sainz corner. And Vettel just sort of shuts him off as well as they come around Le Boucher as well. But they're all trying to find the right positions on the track. And it's not really paying off as well in terms of giving racing etiquette.
I tell you what, who's the slowest team on the track right now? And it's Haas.
Oh, what a surprise. 19th and 20th. Schumacher dropped 4 places. He did go off the track, though, admittedly, as Stroll has passed Latifi. Who's the biggest winner on the start? I think it's Stroll, isn't it? Up 4 places.
Definitely.
Lewis has taken the fastest lap, and now it's gone to Verstappen.
Wow, that's changed over quite quick. 139.613. So Verstappen making the error down at turn 1, gives this attack race back underway. He had a sure thing here. If he can get ahead of Hamilton, he could have held him up for the rest of the race. But now Hamilton could just go into the distance. And I've got a feeling that we're going to start seeing the usual French Grand Prix boring starts.
What we did have this morning in the F3 race, and I haven't seen the things, is the wind.
Yeah, the wind this morning, the F3 race was weird. It was sort of blowing the rain sideways, and there's the little
I
contact
lost
you
his
talked about.
front end.
Yeah, so the front went on Verstappen into turn 1, and you're right with what Megan said. There was a little contact between the wings at the left
Yeah.
rear down towards the turn 1. So both spotting correct things.
I wonder
there.
if it was the wind.
Yeah, that just blew him off. Down
Yeah,
turn
because
1. Yeah.
this morning the wind was absolutely.
Here's
The
Max
spray
Verstappen.
from the rain was coming up at the rear of the car, and you said you've never seen
Yeah,
it before, but
never
the
have.
spray was being blown
Ooh.
to the left hand
Yeah,
side
I
of the
think he
track.
caught a little bit of a curb there, which made him just go off. I couldn't keep
Hmm.
the car under control, so I couldn't turn to the right.
Yeah, so exactly, you're both right. The wind blew him off and he couldn't keep control of the car as well, so the tyre's not working. And Hamilton must be thinking it's Christmas Day as well as Father's Day at the moment. It's going around everywhere.
You've got to take advantage, haven't you,
Yeah.
of those things?
And they're all starting as well on used mediums. That's the top 10, all on those used mediums. There's Hamilton, the fastest third sector, 44.318 at the moment. And Beth has said something else.
In Spanish.
In Spanish this time, Megan. You're speaking better in Spanish. As Danny
I'm
Ricciardo...
not bad at that.
Danny Ricciardo's start then. Lando Norris had a shocker. He bogged down second phase as Danny Ricciardo just sort of went right round the outside at turn 1. Over the rumble strips as well. Was right up there with Carlos Sainz. Brilliant start from Danny Ricciardo. As this is Lando Norris trying to go on the outside. Ricciardo giving him the racing room, but locked up. And I think Lando just decided to take over. Did he go through the bollard? Yes, he did. Otherwise, he would have got a penalty. No penalty though for Verstappen for that error he did a couple of laps ago on the start.
Do you reckon Beth's a language teacher or took language
Probably.
at university or something?
Probably with that.
Because she's gone from
Yeah.
French to Spanish, or has she got one of those machines that
Translators,
translates what she wants to say? I don't know.
Definitely want to keep an eye on
It's
what's
still,
saying there.
she's, every time I see anything she puts, it just.
I tell you
It's
what, she get
amazing.
on with my best friend Noemi. She wants to be an interpreter.
I'm sure Megan can
You
translate
mean
what
your
she says
Italian
quickly
best
enough.
friend, Noemi?
Yes.
So it's lap 4:53. What started the morning as a wet race, and we were all very excited, doesn't look like it's going to turn into a normal Grand Prix of France. As Sonoda's passing Latifi further back, just out of vision. So that's Sonoda to 16th, Latifi
That
down to
boy
17th.
Seb.
That boy Seb.
Uh,
Megan's continuing to translate. As Gasly versus Charles Leclerc now at the moment.
Seb.
So guess again.
It's El Niño Seb.
Okay. You can just go with that with your heart's desire, but right now, Megan's locking the timing monitor. Verstappen, a 1:39.571. Hamilton's last lap time was a 1:39.6. Verstappen, a 1:40.024. As we see a replay now of Nikita Mazepin diving up the inside of Mick Schumacher at turn 4. And,
Oh, yes.
yeah, forcing Mick off the track. Mick, well, to be fair, Nikita had the corner, but Mick tried to hold around the outside as well. Did he give him any
That's
room?
a typical thing. You know, Schumacher should have backed off there
Yeah.
because he it was front wings they're going to hit. And the unwritten rule is that if the other driver's 3/4 in front of you, you pull back. Not
And he
them.
was.
It's something about go away. I think it might be about
Got a great getaway.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. We'll
But
have
I
a
don't
look.
think the word great is in there.
Just going back on this as well. Oh, I think we've got a camera failure up in the commentary box again. OBS seems to be having really bad software at the moment. Okay, we're back with you. Sorry if we just froze ever so slightly there with issues. OBS has been a bit of a nightmare today across both of our devices that we've been using it. But right now it's like 5 of 53 for the French Grand Prix. We're watching the battle for 6th between Gasly and Leclerc. The two Williamses also battling of Russell and Latifi. Latifi's ahead of Russell at the moment, as you can see. And I think actually now, I'm not sure how great this is going to be because they've changed it once again. But let's take a look at the driver tracker out there. And if you can make that out, you're a better person than me with your eyesight because it's gone completely different colours. So Hamilton,
Sainz going
Verstappen,
round,
Perez.
then Gasly, Leclerc, Alonso, and then it's
know.
Ricciardo, Norris, Vettel, Ocon, then it's
Why, yeah.
Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Stroll, Tsunoda, Latifi, Russell, Mazepin, and coming round the corner now is Schumacher.
So there's your driver trackers. We start lap 6 of 53 then here at the moment.
Bottas with the fastest lap with a 1:39.293.
So
And I do
improving.
have
The
Perez.
interesting thing is there is a gap
Yeah.
between Perez and Sainz of 3 seconds this early in
Oh,
the
wow.
race.
Yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, 3.853, I think it says at the moment. Now it's increasing to 3.951. So times improve. So big gaps improving as well out there. That's slightly better, but it's not great, is it, at the moment? Trying to have monochrome. Is this turning into a normal French Grand? That's radio is poor, we've heard. So something's... Oh, there we go.
It wasn't very good in Baku either.
No, it wasn't, was it?
Weather
report, Megan, go.
It's gonna be to do with the weather. If the it's gonna also storms carry an electrical thing as well, which means it can go. Oh wait, Hamilton, Mercedes, these tyres are. I don't think they're going to last as long as you are expecting. Something I agree with, because none of these tyres are going to last as long as the
Yeah, most of in fact, all of the top 10 qualified on mediums.
Yeah.
Which haven't got a good shelf life here. There's new directives, isn't there, that you talked about yesterday?
18 pages front and back.
18 pages front and back for people who like Friends. And if you notice, Vettel, Ocon, Giovinazzi and Raikkonen all started on the hard.
And they've started on the hard tyres as well.
Yeah, the ones that were able to change their tyres. When it started raining this morning, I think they all wanted to change to wets or intermediates the wet to carry on for a bit.
It did,
because
sadly,
I think most of the top 10 teams feel that this medium tyre is just not good enough for them.
And it's showing it now. At the moment, it's 27 degrees in the Castellet as well. And so far, no sign of rain predicted for the rest of the race. Air temperature 26 degrees, track temperature 37 at the moment. I can see on the driver tracker in front of me, which has now changed to colours.
So who was to blame for the two blowouts?
Pirelli or
the teams?
Yeah,
now the teams said they weren't operating. They were on the temperatures. Were at the right thing, the PSIs were at the right thing, and everything like that. But yeah, because they've changed everything. The interesting thing I saw in qualifying yesterday was how, when they slow down to actually get a bit of distance so they can do a thing.
Yeah.
They were all slowing down to cool the tyres down to get more grip.
And that's an unusual situation. Usually you have to heat them. You have to go fast to heat up.
And that's
nowadays,
they've been pumped up by 4 psi, haven't they?
Yeah, 4 psi at the front and back, as well as I said. And the front camber, the toe camber now at the front can only be.
Bottas Team Radio.
Never heard anything. I think it's just keep up with what you were doing. Well, I'm sure we'll hear it over here in a second.
Are we racing yet? I think he said.
Yeah. Okay, we're racing yet. So he's holding off from the back of Verstappen. Verstappen's actually closing
no,
back in
that was
Hamilton.
a joke.
Oh, right. So, but look, if we see the front camber is now at 3.5 psi, so that's the tilt camber you can have inwards.
25.7 degrees centigrade here. So it's a warm, muggy day for South France.
Yeah, the humidity out there is quite high as well.
We always used to find
in
the summer in southwest France, in Royan and Montpellier, and the
thunderstorm this afternoon.
We used to get up to it being overcast, but by midday it would be burned off and it would be brilliantly hot.
And that's exactly what's happened here. Yeah,
and it's similar here. It's not fully burned off because it's. That's the mountains in the distance.
Yeah, we're in the mountainous village here, Le Castellet earlier, the Côte d'Azur, just an hour away actually from Monte Carlo. So I don't know why this race wasn't back to back.
Karun described it as a plateau on the side of a mountain where they built a racetrack, and it's owned by Bernie. And Bernie has there's a bit of a dispute. We say 167 different varieties of this track.
What time is it there?
An hour forward.
It is 1 hour forward.
So in their time at 4, and at our time at 3, it's going to be thunderstorms.
So that's an hour into this race. That's incredible. Yeah, and we know it can blow in quite quickly.
Yellow warning for thunderstorms.
And we know that can blow in quite quickly here. So tyres are too hot. Sorry, Megan, tyres are too hot. Hamilton's reporting over the radio. So if that rain does blow in like it did this morning, where on the way to the grid it was dry, and then it just started hammering it down with a deluge, as you said, Dad, for Formula 3 this morning, this could be quite an interesting
It should be okay for brakes here.
Rain, 1.3 millimetres.
You get long straights here where you can cool down the tyres and the brakes.
So this should be okay. We should be in there for a good one.
So if Lewis is saying that the tyres are getting hot, right? He complained at the start, going to the start of the grid, that the button wasn't working. Now, if that's got stuck on that stuff that they put round it, which is
the shielding,
it's a shield, isn't it?
Yeah, just a basic shield.
Right. If it's got stuck inwards, his brakes could be overheating, and I don't see that because they by this time they would
have realised the brake pressure.
Maybe it's not off fully.
Like it's got caught on the spring,
Caught
so it's
a little bit,
half on, half off, just a little bit of a press on the button. Yeah, it could be. We'll have to keep an eye because what's his times now? Last lap time for Hamilton was 1:38.
It's fly-by-wire. I don't think it is a spring. I think it is a fly-by-wire type button.
So if the wire's got cords and something, so it's just like when you, like on a wire,
it's all
if you
about
put
the
it one
pressure.
plus. Yeah.
So it might have a spring in it, but
keep an eye on and see what his lap times are.
It's all a bit secretive down there at Mercedes about this.
Ted was able to show us how DAS worked finally after a year and a half.
Yeah, he knew a year ago.
But we just couldn't show it because, he couldn't show anything because it was a year. Because
that's
all
how we knew how it worked a year ago, and that's what we were trying to explain to everyone.
Yeah.
How it's a piston and it's a thing.
Just moves the shapes of the thing.
Moves the piston, which moves the camber up and down. Everybody knew and Red Bull had a system that they were waiting to put on.
Yeah, and it was just determined if it was legal.
If it
had
had got the okay for this season, they would have put it on their car last season, wouldn't they?
And sadly, they didn't. Megan.
Right. So I've just done a quick calculation according to Hamilton's rounded up times. This race should last about 1 hour 27 minutes. And it's...
What about normal then?
27 seconds.
Lance Stroll, let's have a little replay of what happened with Lance.
So let's go for a move on one of the Alphas. He's into 14th place now, so he has got ahead of Kimi Räikkönen around the outside of the chicane down the Mistral Straight. That's actually quite a good move on the outside there.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Lance has not shook up about the accident last week. I know it scared his dad a lot, and it scared us a lot. Because it was so quick and so violent into that fence, into that wall.
It's a horrible one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It didn't look as bad as if you understand these cars. It was an amazingly bad accident because, and it just proves that the strength of these cars nowadays.
Graining on the front, Lewis is reporting at the moment. I thought he said raining at the front as well. Just checking the average speed from last year's race, the year before's race at Paul Ricard in 2019.
One of the few games that Lewis plays, and we've all talked about this, is the fact that he gives out what you call bogus things.
Which isn't very good.
So just fake information completely.
Fake information.
Yeah. Oh, Bottas radio. And it's graining on the front. So they're reporting graining on the front at the moment as well. Bottas seems okay with it, managing it quite well.
Yeah, and the two cars are about the same.
Yeah,
so,
there's a 2-second gap between Hamilton and Verstappen. But Hamilton, as I said, he's actually looking at the speeds as well. He's about 4 miles per hour down on the average speed of last year already. So he needs to pick that up. So the tyres must be degrading somewhere. Look at the vibration as well, Megan, on Max Verstappen. And it was actually Bottas also reporting graining as well, but he's managing it quite well. But look at the vibration on the front end of Max Verstappen's car. He's been experiencing 0.2 of a G down the straight.
Now Beth is saying half and half. Right?
They're predicting a late
El Nino is wind.
They're predicting a late wind. Should be testing. It's a taco as well.
El Nino is the boy.
Oh, so hang on, Danny Ricciardo sending on the inside of Fernando Alonso.
I thought he's there.
And Ricciardo goes through on the inside of Alonso, down at the chicane, sent out the inside very late. Alonso now trying to swing back, coming down the second half of the Mistral Straight into the Sainz corner, and Ricciardo's ahead of Alonso.
Facts.
And Beth saying as well, F1 France facts, Mistral Straight was named after a popular brand of a ceiling fan.
I thought it was
look at that! Brilliant move from Lando Norris right round the outside at Lebose. Gets in a mover on Fernando Alonso. Brilliant move. Sent it round the outside. Alonso caught completely napping there. Beautiful from Lando. Just looked up in time to see him go round the outside. Fabulous.
El Nino was wind, wasn't it?
El Nino means the boy.
He's the boy.
So I don't know who you're talking about.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, Beth.
It means the boy.
Right, when we were in France,
That must be Verstappen.
you didn't have to speak French
I'm
yourself
thinking about
quite a lot.
Spanish right now. I'll check what it
Yeah.
is in French.
No, what I'm saying is, right, it was really weird whenever we were in France because the French, when they find out you're English, they would just want to practice their English on you.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So you don't have to really, unless you find someone that doesn't speak English, you don't really have to speak a lot of French in France.
We're just looking at a replay. Danny Ricciardo pulled out so late on Fernando Alonso down into the chicane, and over the radio as well, his engineer saying good move, and it was a great move as well. Can we see Lando's again, please, Mr. Director? Here it is. Look, right round the outside. This is the Sainz corner. Then coming down towards the Beauce. Alonso's so slow, and Lando just sends it up the inside. Alonso just has to basically accept that he's been lost out. Great move from Lando, even though Alonso tried to defend.
Yeah, it's just
The guy who
Spanish.
replaced him gets back ahead of him at McLaren as well.
The Google Translate is saying it's Welsh.
Welsh? It's not Welsh.
Doubt it'd be
No,
Welsh.
it's not Welsh.
Yes, I extremely doubt it
And
would be
El
Welsh.
Nino is the boy in Spanish.
So he must be talking about Max Verstappen.
Why don't you let your
No, I can't spell.
Why don't you let
an
your
anvil.
older sister, who is
Oh, really? I can speak German, though she cannot speak.
Well, she's
Spanish.
Is it still in the front room?
yeah, Kellyanne's still in.
No
the front
offense,
row.
Kellyanne, but you can't speak Spanish. I can.
Well, if Kellyanne wants to come
I've
to
never
the
been to Spain.
if Kellyanne wants to come to the commentary box and translate for us,
French
is
she's
French.
she's more than welcome to come in the back here of the commentary box. Lap 13 of 53 here at the French Grand Prix. Disappointingly, after being teased such a prospect here of a great race, it's turning into a bit of normality here for the French Grand Prix Paul Ricard, but we're seeing some midfield battles happening as well as Vettel's on the back of Alonso. The two old dogs going to have another go at it. The, 2010, 2012, 2013 championship rivals attacking each other now on the circuit. Both in different teams, of course, than what they were originally.
Kellyanne will be very pleased with the football yesterday. They beat Germany beat Portugal 3-1.
Oh, that was good. That was a good score. That 13 and 53. Hamilton is, 2.292 seconds off at the moment. Let's fade to driver tracker for a second to show you. As I said, we haven't got the lap counter on this one. Sainz saying a lot more degradation than anyone anticipated as Vettel goes up the inside, down at the Mistral chicane and gets ahead. So Vettel up to P10. Alonso's down in position as well. You saw that on the driver tracker. They've changed over positions. The two Williams doing the same thing. Russell getting ahead of Latifi as now the other two teammates of Danny Ricciardo and Lando Norris is having an attack battle at the moment on the circuit, as you can see on the driver tracker. It's all sorts of action going on here at the moment.
But that's something you never thought you'd say about the French Grand Prix.
No, but look at the middle sector. Look at that. Starting from Sainz backwards. So just after the top four.
The gap between Sainz and Perez has got slowly and slowly larger and larger over the last
Sainz
3 or
to
4
Tsunoda.
laps.
It's 15
Well, Perez
seconds.
is +3. Sainz is +14.
And this is Valtteri Bottas on a replay now, down at turn number 3 on lap 12. Locked up, went straight on. Did he go over the right side of the bollard? No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
So that'll be a drive-through penalty then for Bottas because he didn't go over the bollard. You have to go over the bollard at the exit of track limits down at turn 3 and 5. Yeah. So he didn't do that, so that might get a penalty.
Alonso? So there's a radio from Alonso,
There's two different radio messages.
both playing out at the same time. One in our...
Yeah, so Alonso saying that these tyres are degrading so much and the degradation's very bad.
I think it's the same for everybody.
And is that got something to do as well with the fact that the track has been washed of all grip?
Oh, I don't
because
know.
of the rain this morning?
Sandpaper.
Yeah, good point with the sandpaper. But is that something to do as well with the grip?
Yeah, what they've been doing overnight for the last few days is they've been taking this truck out with this like they used to on beaches.
Yeah.
That and with this long trailing mat like thing, and it just sweeps up all the rubber that's on the track that's not bedded in. You know, all the marbles, and that was ever so useful in F3 this morning because of the fact that with the rain they all wanted to use different parts of the track. Look, you can see it there. There's no on that corner. There is no marbles, which is unusual for a racetrack.
Something's happened. I hope we're still broadcasting to you live at the moment.
I can always check. Got something in my eye. So it's lap 15 of 57.
Leclerc pits. Leclerc pits.
Leclerc, please don't go on to a set of used tyres. That's not going to help you.
Let's see what tyres he goes on to then. So Leclerc comes in,
I've
puts
got-
on a brand new set of hard compound tyres, and away he goes.
Beth must be a language person or has got a machine that does it, because she's now done about Danny Rick being a superstar.
Yeah, look, there we go. We've got Beth's chats up here as well at the moment. Yeah, Danny Ricciardo, a superstar as well. And also Beth saying that, Josh, we're experiencing more degradation than expected. Lol. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened at the moment on the circuit, on the chat. It's like 15 of 53. If Megan could go into the leave the commentary box and fix what's going on in the front room,
I'll do it, because I want to go
okay.
see Kellyanne.
Oh, well, Dad'll go then, and Megan will stay in the commentary box and fix that over. So Dad will be back later on in the commentary. Thanks for coming in right now. We'll see you later. Danny Ricciardo's on the radio. Danny Ricciardo over the radio saying they're being told car ahead, and then just saying, let's go. But it's a bleeping go. Let's bleeping go, he said at the moment on the circuit. So certainly, Megan, Ricciardo wants to have another go and another attack right now.
I'm just checking whether we're perfectly on.
Well, we must be live because we've got Beth texting us as well, and I can see we're still live on the camera. So we're just experiencing a little glitch.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah, so
It must be the TV.
must be the TV in there. Yeah, we're just experiencing a little glitch at the moment, so we apologise for that. But hopefully you're all watching back and enjoying this one. It's lap 16 of 53, and let's hear from Bottas. Hamilton being told the gap is between 3 seconds now between himself and Verstappen at the moment, as this is Charles Leclerc getting past Nikita Mazepin. Presumably that's for lapped traffic, don't you think, Megs?
Yeah, though.
Yeah.
Why is it going so slowly?
Super slow-mo. They've gone down to super slow-mo. So Ian Birch will be back in the commentary box later on. Megan Birch alongside me right now in the commentary box as Yuki Tsunoda comes into the pit lane, takes off his used set of medium tyres and goes on to a brand new set of hards. Now, Tsunoda started last and for the pit lane, so it's an interesting one that he's decided that that he would start the race on used mediums.
Yeah, very, very curious. Though I can say that the entirety of the field, barring Leclerc, Mazepin and Tsunoda and Schumacher. Oh, and all of a sudden it's changed. I swear everyone was on mediums. It must have been a glitch. Though
I think it was, yeah.
half of the field are on mediums, half of the field are on hard, so it's difficult to tell.
So we see at the moment, battles in the midfield once again. There is such a gap as well. They say, bring it. That's all that Bottas' engineers told him. Bring it. Which kids tell me where you want to bring it, how you want it brought, as well as Alonso, Megan. So much. So this is Ocon and Alonso. So the two Alpines are just bringing so much.
Why is it
holding the rest of the field? Yeah.
Why is it
Spins this morning in the F3 race.
Oh, that explains it.
But honestly, right now, they're just bringing so much degradation in as well. And they're just holding up the rest of the field. Ocon cannot wait to be passed by Lance Stroll. So, because Stroll needs to get out ahead of him at the moment. So, still not going great out there. Cars down the order. There's a car in the pit lane. It's Danny Ricciardo.
Look at that. Sorry, it doesn't.
Yeah, Ricciardo in the pit lane. Stand up. Give me a hand. So box for opposite Gasly. So Ricciardo comes in and changes tyres. Just heard over the team radio as well. So Ricciardo pits, drops down towards 14th place at the moment. As he'll come out behind Russell and behind Latifi. So Ricciardo was told box to overtake Gasly. Do you think that's a possibility to get past Gasly on the rerun?
No.
No, not at all. Neither do I.
Now.
So it's Hamilton leading. He's got a 2.9 second advantage over Verstappen. Then it's Bottas, Perez, Sainz, Gasly, Norris, Verstappen, Alonso, and Ocon, the top 10 on lap 17 of 53. Keeping it all together. Live stream working, no dramas. Is that a thermos? What are the Merck's tyre strategy? So live stream working, no dramas. Thank you for that, Beth. Is that a thermos? No, it's a reusable water bottle, just with some very cold water in it to hydrate me throughout the race. But it was just a Christmas present. It's just a normal little water bottle. As Mercedes getting ready for a pit stop, what's Mercedes' tyre strategy?
Bottas.
We're about to see, because Bottas comes in. Hard tyres, do you think, Megs? They've all got a set of new
Probably.
ones. It is brand new set of hard
Yeah.
tyres, yeah. So unlikely they were going to go to the softs that they had left.
2.5, not the best, so it's good.
Yeah, Bottas has got two old mediums left, but he's also got one new medium left.
Team radio.
Outlap will be critical, Bottas is being told. And the reason, by the way, they've all kept a set of soft tyres or a new set of mediums is because we're expecting this race to be a two-stop strategy. Into the pit lane comes Carlos Sainz, Pierre Gasly and George Russell. So Russell comes out now as well. So it's up now to the teams of Ferrari and AlphaTauri. New cake tins being put on as well, the sides there. Off goes the tyres for Gasly. Sainz got out first, 2.7 second stop. The front left was a little slow there for Gasly. That's down to 3.1 seconds. And Latifi goes up the order as well. Russell dropping down the pit lane as there's Daniel Ricciardo. Box to get past Gasly. It's worked brilliantly. Ricciardo to 14th. Gasly drops down as well. Didn't think AlphaTauri predicted the fact that Ferrari were pitting.
Why are they picking on Gasly? Why have they...
Must be racing him the closest in the slipstream. Must be. And Hamilton asked over the radio, pit's still okay? Is okay? Yeah, everything's okay.
Doesn't that worry a bit that McLaren have targets?
Yes, definitely. As now we see Sebastian Vettel trying to get through ahead. +2. Plan +2, I swear that was. So they're going to go 2 extra laps at the moment on the front there in order to try and get an advantage. No, box now maybe. Who would they pit? Perez or Verstappen? It's Verstappen. So Verstappen pits, gets off those used mediums, puts on a brand new set of hards. What's the pit stop? 2.3 seconds. It was 1.7, wasn't it, last time out in Baku? They are having an extremely good situation out now in terms of power. And let's hear from Hamilton. Hammer time. Hamilton saying it's being told it's hammer time to get into the pit. So now Hamilton will box this lap.
Where did that come from?
Where do you think? Oh, Verstappen gets out ahead of Bottas. So Bottas pitted a lap ago. Verstappen has got ahead, and Verstappen's undercut Bottas. Unbelievable. Pit stop now for Alpine. It's Fernando Alonso, Nicholas Latifi down there as well. New set of hard tyres going as well. But what was that? They didn't drop the rear in time. The rear jack wasn't down. You saw the rear wheels spinning, didn't you, before he got dropped? Bad stop there for Alpine. 3.7 seconds. And Alonso spinning his wheels, going nowhere. If that's not made into a GIF, I don't know what bit it would be. What's Mercedes' tyre strategy? A two-stopper. Predictably, they'll go from mediums to hards, then to softs later. So Hamilton wanted to know, are we using all of the overtake, the magic button for the power, the energy recovery system? Use it all, because they're coming in this lap. If Red Bull are smart, they would leave Perez out there for a lap to block Hamilton and allow Verstappen to catch up. Perez now, for strategy, must take the lead of this race. Hamilton stops now, changes over to the hard tyres. They'll go on to the softs they've got left later. And 2.2 second stop, mega from Mercedes. But Perez takes the lead. Red Bull have left him out there. And now it means also that Hamilton is going to be blocked by Perez. Now, we saw this a couple of races ago, didn't we? Where was it? Was it
Verstappen is going to go into second. He's not going to make it out in time.
He's not, is he? Hamilton's getting out of the pit lane too late. Verstappen dives up the inside. Hamilton's lost it. And Max Verstappen has done the undercut against Lewis Hamilton. He was too slow in the pit lane. And Hamilton has lost out. Red Bull 1-2. They can box Perez now to defend from Hamilton. It's worked out beautifully right now for Red Bull. Mercedes with a quicker stop, but they were too slow in the pit lane, too slow in in-lap. Verstappen gunned it on the out-lap. Brilliant racing here in France. And I never thought I'd say that again. The title fight is on. Verstappen ahead. Brilliant stuff.
They've got to... I would suggest pitting Perez when you get a little bit more time and maybe in about 2 laps' time, because then you can get far enough away from Hamilton as you can.
Neither of the two championship leaders scored any points in Baku. Verstappen having a rear left tyre failure, causing the race to be stopped. Hamilton leaving his magic brake paddle on all the way to the front at the restart meant that he locked up. No points scored. Red Bull lead the Constructors' title. Hamilton being told by Bono, I'm not sure what happened there.
They were faster, that's what happened.
I don't see how Verstappen managed it. His last lap time was a 1:39.9. Outstanding time. That is, for an outlap as well, that is supersonic for an outlap.
What can he do on a non-outlap?
Hamilton's outlap is a 1:41. Verstappen was 2 seconds faster than Hamilton on the outlaps. That is unbelievable. Hamilton's not happy either. And now Hamilton's coming under pressure from his own teammate Bottas.
And he had a quicker pit stop.
Yeah. Mercedes did everything they needed to. It just wasn't enough. Bizarrely, it just wasn't enough. 10 seconds now. So the Red Bull leaving Perez out longer.
Like I said.
Is right. What I would do now is I would tell Verstappen to hold up the two Mercedes. Just keep your tyres cool, keep your tyres on, just hold them up, let Perez pit, and then you've got two cars in the mix when you're battling the two Mercedes. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Perez is going to come out at the tail end of this battle. You need him sort of in the middle. And just ideally, you need Verstappen splitting Hamilton. Hamilton was going deep into the Mistral chicane as well at the exit.
He's catching the curbs a bit there.
He is, isn't he? And those rear tyres up to temperature once again, but he's just so close to Bottas. It's what we wanted, though. Top two in the title, fighting each other. Lance Stroll screaming over the radio, tyres are overheating.
You better get him in. We don't want another incident like Baku.
Has Stroll pitted or is he not pitted? I'm not too sure. No, Stroll hasn't pitted yet. Yeah, so Stroll hasn't yet come into the pit lane. I was wondering what all that was about.
Yeah, I don't want another incident like in Baku where Stroll's tyres just fail him.
Late on in the race, yeah, you don't want that again, do you? That is absolutely the worst decision that could happen. And another big accident we don't want. It's lap 22 of 53 here for the French Grand Prix. And so far, I'm almost scared to say it, this race is actually decent.
Verstappen radio.
Oh dear. I don't think Verstappen can hear his team. Okay, so I don't think Verstappen there was saying, hello, can you hear me? And I don't think the radio was working there on Verstappen, but they've got it back now. Yeah, because Verstappen needs to know what percentage of the car to turn it to and exactly how much it is. And he's being told by his engineer, keep calm, Max, keep calm. And you've got to keep calm.
Yeah.
You've got to hold off as Hamilton has the DRS
Hamilton
as well.
radio.
Hamilton sounding exhausted, saying, come on, guys, come on. But I think it's just a general motivational thing there to say, come on, guys, let's do this.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Over the radio. But Hamilton was now within DRS zone of Verstappen. The gap is 0.5 of a second, so they're starting to pull them in too. The battle for the World Championship between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton heating up here at the French Grand Prix at Le Castellet's Port Ricard circuit. And look at that. Hamilton's lost a lot of time in turns 12 and 13. Almost fell back to Bottas. So that's Verstappen pressing the overtake button. 1.073. He's lost 0.6 of a second in two corners. That's really bizarre. Ricciardo in box two, trying to go around on the inside now of Kimi Räikkönen. Does he go ahead? They're side by side down the second half of the Mistral straight into the sides corner as well. Räikkönen putting Ricciardo on the curb. That is a dangerous position for Räikkönen to put Ricciardo. They could have both ended off on the wall there. And Ricciardo really now trying to push and keep ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. Pushing hard, needing to push hard.
I've got to say, this is definitely more exciting than I would have thought. Though
we were hoping a wet race, but there's rain to come, and you can see as well, the clouds have come in, the wind's picked up as well.
Who's the fastest that meant to go to? Because I think it must be some sort of glitch, because it's been Bottas for ages, and it's been multiple laps since that happened.
It's still Bottas. Bottas has still got the fastest lap in this race, a 1:36.960. Remember, they've all changed tyres, so the ones out there on harder tyres that won't go quicker. So that's where later on in the race,
Verstappen has a quicker time than him.
That was on the last. That's their last lap time, not their best lap time. I know I got confused as that was on when I was watching. I think, however, we're going to see them later on when they pit for the soft tyres. We'll see those lap times come back in. Look at the rain clouds though coming in. It's starting to tense up, isn't it?
The helicopter's going right down.
Yeah,
low.
It can't get through the clouds. Excuse me for that, but honestly, this is getting quite interesting now, isn't it?
Yeah, visibility is only like 8 kilometers.
And right now, humidity is at 51%, wind at 1.3 miles an hour as well. Air pressure is at 960 over 8.
Ooh, they should really have some.
This is a move from Danny Ricciardo going on the inside at Kimi Räikkönen at turn 1. So a less dramatic move this time. Look how dark it's getting out there, Megan. It's really dark on the track now.
Oh, it's reminding me of... what was that one? About 2 years ago, there was this one race.
Just hearing on the radio as well, Bottas having a go. That's George Russell also saying about the tyres not being happy out there either.
I think it was
Maybe he's
might
trying
have
to
been
find...
the Austrian Grand Prix.
Oh, Styria, when the track got really dark and qualifying the race. Yeah, Styria, yeah.
That. It reminds me of that.
It's getting really dark out there. There is a high chance of rain, as Megan said, coming in the next 20 minutes in this race. Yeah, so the next 20 minutes we could see some rain. And I wouldn't put it past it as well, this circuit. Hamilton closing in again on Verstappen. Very close now through the second half of the restart chicane. Bottas had the DRS though.
I'll tell you what race I really want it to rain at. The Mexican Grand Prix this year, because that's on Halloween. And it'll be so creepy and fun to have it thunderstorm.
That would be a nice one as well. But personally, I wouldn't mind a bit of rain in the British Grand Prix. That's
almost guaranteed. I mean, we're British.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
It's going to be raining.
I mean, I've gone through the last couple of days. We've had great rain. We've had great rain and we've had great sunshine. It's been really weird. As Leclerc closing in on Antonio Giovinazzi for 9th place down and goes to the inside. Leclerc easily gets through on Giovinazzi as into the pit lane comes Sergio Perez. So that now releases Max Verstappen into the lead of the French Grand Prix on lap 24. Is it a clean stop, though, for Sergio Perez? Yes, it is. So this is now...
Ooh, it might be a better stop than...
So this is going to be Perez back out into 4th place. As Norris pits as well. So with Norris pitting, it's going to cancel out those two alternate strategies. So, yeah, Perez P4.
Right, so
Norris in 2 for the first time today.
What's Perez's time?
It didn't show, did it? It hasn't shown. So the pit lane delta hasn't shown. He was in the pit lane for 29.682 seconds. Not sure what his total pit stop time was, though. It hasn't showed us, which is just typical. 2.6 seconds, though, for Lando Norris. So maybe it was a little bit of an error there. I'm not too sure. But Ocon is now passing Leclerc as well as Norris as well, all going through. Norris going down as he leaves the pit lane. Look how much time you lose in the pit lane as well, because it's a super long pit lane here because it's an endurance track as well. It's a high-tech test track.
I'm going to say that it was a 2.4.
But can we just get excited that at the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard, we have a 3-way fight for the victory here, and they're all within a second of each other, because it is Verstappen, who is 5 tenths back, is Hamilton, 2 tenths back, and from him is Bottas. It's all coming to play now. This is unbelievable stuff. Great racing right here, right now.
I'm so confused. It says gap lap 24. It's lap 25.
What on earth? What an undercut. Matt Gallagher was tweeting as well. And he's also said, rather pleased, surprisingly, with these first 8 laps, he hasn't fallen asleep. I'm surprised as well. We've actually got a race on our hands here at Paul Ricard. This is exactly what the title needed. A dramatic race. We've had one really every race so far this year, haven't we? Monaco was a bit of a dud, but it was more exciting as well for Verstappen to get ahead in the championship, and he's held it ever since as well. This is Ricciardo passing Giovinazzi for 9th place. We saw that happen on the split screen.
He always does the same thing, though. The drivers always seem so surprised.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Beth has said as well, Danny Ritt looking good for 5th, fingers crossed. Yeah, I completely agree with you there as well. If you're on the hard tyres now for a one-stop strategy, your pit window is open. So far, that applies to no one. Everyone's pitted.
Giovinazzi and Vettel, it applies to. Oh,
they're
as
on,
well as
hard tyres,
Stroll and Ocon.
But everyone on the track is on hard tyres right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so to go on to the mediums, pit for mediums from a one-stopper. Okay, so in that case, it does apply. It applies to Vettel, Stroll, Ocon, Raikkonen and Mazepin. They are the drivers who haven't pitted yet and could pit for one-stopper hard tyres. That's Ricciardo saying, great move, and Leclerc's still stuck behind Ocon. And Ricciardo's closed right up, actually, on Leclerc. Here's the Live Drivers' Championship right now. Verstappen will lead by 11 points to Lewis Hamilton in the title, so he will extend it from the 4 that he came into this race weekend with. Reminder as well that later on this evening, we'll have the second race from Puebla for the ABB Formula E World Championship. That's underway at 9:45 British summer time with live coverage build-up. But right now, we're watching the battle for the race lead between Hamilton and Verstappen. Here at the Castellet, Hamilton is closing in. It's like he's flicked a switch in the last couple of corners. He's closing in once again on Max Verstappen. And now, this is where we really want to see it as Gasly gets ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi.
This is going to be good, certainly. And I'm kind of a bit... I don't know what to say almost, because it's just you don't know what's going to happen. I can see Toto Wolff looks very, very paranoid, and it's...
Toto's on the pit wall. That's how unusual that is. Toto never, ever goes on the pit wall.
That's how I know he's paranoid.
Yeah, he really is, isn't he? Right now, look at this. Hamilton within DRS once again at the Mistral chicane. Exiting now, back up already into 6th gear at over 170 miles an hour.
It's a good thing to have two arguing teams right next to each other,
No.
where they can hear their strategies and everything.
Probably not, but who cares? I love it. I just waited to hear more FI18 radio. However, that rain cloud is coming in. We might get some rain, we might not. Either way, this is a good race, and I'll certainly take it after, in the previous Grand Prix here, we've only had a combined 4 overtakes on track.
Well, Danny Rick's just taking that over.
We've already had more on-track overtakes in this race at Paul Ricard than we have in the past 2 races. In fact, we're going to have another one because here's Pierre Gasly. Gasly going for a move on the inside of Antonio Giovinazzi, up the inside actually at the Sagna corner. A great move. This is Danny Ricciardo getting through on a knock-on. So that's Ricciardo for P8. And he's actually passed Sainz as well.
Nothing
on the radio. Yeah, so I thought we were going to hear something there, but we didn't. Nothing on the radio at the moment. So they're still trying to circulate, still trying to find things in this Grand Prix. It's lap 28 of 53 here at the Castellet.
That was close.
0.953 now as they come down the Mistral straight once again. Hamilton with that front wing very clearly flexing as well, trying to get in the toe. That's going to disturb the ear of the car as well an awful lot. Trying to find your right braking zone, trying to find everything right in the positions. It's just going to cost so much time. It's unbelievable. 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, already at 6th gear, as I said, over 160 miles an hour. The exit of the chicane, you're flat out again as you come in, flat out 191 miles an hour as you come around the Sagna corner into Le Bousset.
I just heard what was on the radio for Danny Rick, and it was just saying that Sainz and Gasly are behind on some...
Alternate strategy?
Like keep on guard or something.
Keep on guard, yeah. It's going to have to because they're going to be quicker if Ricciardo's tyres start to go. Rain clouds coming in at the moment. I'd love to know the percentage of chance for rain. Megan said thunderstorms at 3 o'clock. That's at 10. That's in 10 minutes. 4 o'clock their time. 3 o'clock here in the UK in our commentary box. But seriously, if that starts raining as well, we're going to be on lap 35 of 53?
Yeah.
So basically, we're going to have another chaotic one. We're past half distance as well here.
Ricciardo passes Leclerc.
That's Norris. That's not the one ball with Lando. Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Ricciardo's passed Leclerc for P7. But look at this. Lando Norris on board as well, trying to get past Pierre Gasly. Coming down after the Mistral straight onto the Sainz corner as well. We cannot keep this up until the end of the race, that's for sure. That's what Max Verstappen is saying. So Verstappen's saying he can't keep battling us right on the outside at Le Bousset. Lando Norris makes an absolutely fantastic move. And Gasly, he made contact. Gasly's off the track. Lando Norris is off the track too. Front 2 contacts. They both keep going. But a little bit of contact there. Gasly forcing Norris off the track there. Norris was ahead. Gasly should have backed off.
He should have backed off, though. That was certainly something that's going to go into the action zones for the future. Yeah,
well, another one down in that part of the track as well. Let's keep an eye out, actually. As Lando Norris doesn't look to have any damage to the front end of his car, which is great news. They're going to tow back in on Pierre Gasly once again. The 2 Ferraris side by side as Carlos Sainz dives up the inside of his teammate Charles Leclerc and certainly makes his presence known, doesn't he? 2nd place at Monaco, further up than Leclerc managed, and he's going for it. And now joining the battle, we get Gasly and Norris. 4-way fight over 8th position.
I don't see why they're all so concerned about getting that 8th.
Oh, did you see that? Lando Norris almost looked like his rear left took off in the part of the bump of the track, the car looked like it was unsettled completely, almost like a suspension failure.
Maybe it was more effective than
before. That was really bizarre, but Lando's back in the tow of Gasly as well. Pulls to the inside, on the inside down towards the Mistral straight, side by side once again, into the braking zone as well. Lando this time gets the move done, defends the inside line. Gasly can't find a way through. Megan.
What's wrong with
something's
Lando's
off?
bollards?
Yeah, something's off on the front wing end plate, isn't it, on Lando? There's something loose. I saw it as well.
It keeps whacking up and down more than it should do.
Yeah, you can see it on board with the head.
It almost looks like flexi wings, though it doesn't. It's too
Yeah, it looks like
wacky.
something's come loose then. Something's come loose. Let's have from Hamilton. And Hamilton's saying... I'm moving the mic. Hamilton being told that Verstappen doesn't think he can get these tyres to the end of the race. Hamilton saying, let's make sure we can undercut them this time. As now Charles Leclerc is under pressure again from Lando Norris. It goes to the inside down at turn 12 and 13. Lando's ahead now to P9. Leclerc on the risk of dropping out of the points here at the moment. Turn 10, incident involving cars 4, Norris, and 10, Gasly under investigation. It's been noted as well as Gasly pulls to the inside. This time as Charles Leclerc into turn 1 here and moves ahead. Leclerc locks up. Does he get it stopped? Yes, he does, but dramatically having to stop as well. So that's Leclerc now outside of the points-paying positions, Megan. Talk us through this.
Right, so we're playing through the incident with Lando Norris, and you can just see they just slightly touch and it causes them both to go off. And hold on.
He says, oh, bleep off, this idiot. What does he think he's doing? Even went off himself. And that was Gasly. So Lando clearly very unimpressed at the moment with those overtakes. As he got ahead this time at Gasly and did it quite well. And then Gasly almost served Leclerc back. Yeah, Lando also saying he forced me off the track. Did he force him off the track? I'd say yes.
A bit, yeah. Though, didn't an incident between Lando and Gasly happen last time we raced here?
In Paul Ricard? Yes,
Yeah.
The last lap.
Yeah, it's
that
even
part
on
of
the
track.
action zone.
Yeah, it's in the action zone. So, yeah, the same place. It happened again. It was all there with Hulkenberg and
Gasly and
Raikkonen as
Lando
well.
just don't get on when it comes to this place.
Yeah, they don't do that. The same part of the track as well, actually, that they've had another going together. Very bizarre. It's lap 31 of 53 then here at Paul Ricard. We're actually having a decent race.
History repeats itself. That was a Ferrari present as well.
Yeah, Ferrari down the order, isn't it? Whereas besides P8, Leclerc P11 at the moment, but Bottas still, as you can see on your driver track as well, has got the fastest lap of the race. Let's take a look actually at the driver tracker for just a second to give you an update here at the moment. There we go, Megan.
Just like to point out the Aston Martins are basically 13 right now, and Stroll's made a lightning getaway from being 19th to now being 6th.
That is insane. Have they stopped yet? No, they haven't. So they're doing what they did back in Baku as well. Vettel and Stroll are on late runs in this race, so they're just going to keep going as much as they can do as well. Beth also saying, all in all, the Mercs caused Toto on the wall. No investigation necessary between Norris and Gasly for that contact. So Beth, more of her wonderful poetry as well coming into the group chat. I think I've just remembered as well. We've got that feature now as well. Look, there it is. There's Beth's wonderful poetry at the bottom as we see Lando Norris side by side now with Carlos Sainz into the Mistral chicane. So that's Norris up to P8, Sainz down the order.
He's been taking lessons from Danny.
On how to have a go on the track. Yeah, I think he has, yeah. Lap 32 of 53. All still circulating.
That move was just pure Daniel.
It was pure Daniel, wasn't it? They're both learning off each other, which is what I like as well.
Yeah.
Bottas radio. If I push any more than this, there's no... So Bottas saying if I push more than this, there's no chance I'm getting to the end on these tyres. So even Valtteri Bottas isn't having much luck. And Bottas recorded his first French Grand Prix podium here in 2019 with a second place. Qualified on the front row for 2 seasons in a row, 18 and 19. So the fastest lap of the 2018 race here. Finished 7th after being spun by Vettel on the first lap. He is yet to beat his teammate here in qualifying. He still didn't. Yesterday. Still didn't. As there's Verstappen. Hamilton's backed off now. The gap is, 2.799 at the moment. Actually, 3.1 seconds, the gap at the moment. So,
Fernando Alonso.
There's Alonso on the radio. This is Alonso on the replay. Late on the inside. And that's Alonso getting past Leclerc. Leclerc sinking like a stone at the moment in this race. He's dropping so far. Back Verstappen pits. According to my timing monitors, is that right? Is that, because we're watching him now, is that right? Hamilton's coming in. Yes, Verstappen pits. Verstappen is putting on medium tyres. So this is very unusual. They've only done 13 laps on these tyres, and already coming into the pit lane is Max Verstappen. He's going to put on a set of medium compound tyres. They are an old, used set of mediums as well.
Hamilton takes lead of a race, and
Hamilton leads.
Verstappen's not going to make it out in time to get past his own teammate.
Bottas takes second place as well. Where is Sergio Perez? Mazepin, 3.3 seconds. His first stop in the afternoon. There's Perez. Perez hasn't done it. So now he's even got lap traffic with Mazepin. Verstappen goes down to fourth place.
He's never going to get through.
Why change the tyres now, though, onto an old set of mediums? They can't do 21
laps.
They can't. Well, they must know something. They must be trying an undercut.
Was there a
race.
puncture?
I'm not sure there. That's very unusual. Let's hear from Hamilton. Yeah, there's 20. Hamilton saying that the left front's already messed up on that hard tyre, and you can see it's gone as well, actually. So these hard tyres are acting like cheese graters on the track. So
what's going to happen if you put sandpaper on it?
I'm wondering as well, can Verstappen make it 21 laps on an old set of mediums? These tyres have already done 3 laps. According to that monitor there, these tyres on Verstappen have already done 3 laps.
Where's those timing things you had the other day?
What timing things I had the other day?
About the new tyre things.
There.
Right, so he's gone on to mediums, right?
He can only do 50. What was it? 20 laps. It was 20 laps, wasn't it? It was around about 20 laps he could do on the mediums. So he's pushing it, isn't he? 3 laps extra from what he could do. So Verstappen risking it all here for a race win as the 2 McLarens go side by side as well. Lando Norris diving up the inside this time, and Danny Ricciardo doesn't get the move done. Yes, he does, into the Mistral chicane. So already then having a position to change and having a battle to change as Gasly closing in once again on Carlos Sainz. Gasly's nowhere near Sainz now at the back of the track. Hamilton's got 3.6 seconds over Bottas. Hamilton radio. Rears are good. Rears are good. Rears are good. They're not in my notes. Meg's trying to look for this. Oh, I don't know why you're trying to look for that. It was on, you ripped up the piece it was written on in the post-it note.
No, I didn't.
All right, somewhere. Anyway,
I ripped a tiny bit off to
I
write
remember
my
it's 20 laps. It's 20 laps you can do on the mediums.
He's not going to make it.
And he's not going to make it. He's already done 4 laps now on them as
Either
well.
way, they're going to be slow.
And there's 21 laps to go. He had a brand new set of softs. He had a brand new set of soft tyres. So does Hamilton, so does Bottas. I don't know why they haven't changed to the soft tyres or waited a couple more laps, then changed onto softs much faster.
Mazepin's done the same.
Where's Mazepin? He hasn't. I don't think Mazepin's stopped yet.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, Mazepin's put on medium compound tyres, but they're brand new mediums. They'll make it to the end of the race with less than 19 to go.
No, he didn't. It won't last to the end of the race.
Well, 20 laps, he'll do it. I don't think there won't be a massive puncture, as Leclerc is already complaining about the graining as well out there. So Leclerc complains about the graining on the track as we watch. That was Gasly trying to get past Sainz out there. What's the gap? 16 seconds now. Verstappen's got to make up over Hamilton. It's getting tasty out there.
I tell you what, Red Bull's testing my patience.
Here comes Lando Norris to the inside of Lance Stroll, in towards the Mistral chicane, looks over, closes the door. Stroll trying to come back, doesn't work off. So Lando Norris to P6. This is looking good for Lando.
Yeah, not looking good for Vettel there.
Well, no, Vettel, where is he now on the order? P5. And he's next up on the target, 5 seconds ahead. Although there is a big gap there, isn't there? 32 seconds separate the top 4 to Vettel. Verstappen, fastest lap of the race, a 1:36.743.
So that's taking another point of the championship.
Yep, so that's just increasing it a little bit more. He wants to win this race, surely. He can't let Lewis win. Because otherwise, Lewis will claw back those championship points massively going into the next couple of races. We're in Styria next twice.
Hold on. It will put Hamilton on 126.
Someone's off. Someone's off. I saw someone fly towards the wall. I think that's a pit lane entrance, though. It's Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll comes into the pit lane. Such a deceptive pit entrance here as well, where it looks like there's a car flying off into the wall. The old Belgium had that as well, actually. In fact, Belgium still does have that, where it looks like there's a car going off. Megan.
Wait, how many points do you get for fourth?
12. So plus 1 for 13. So you have 13 points advantage. He has 13 points. There's a calculator right in front of you if you need to use it. But 35.
It'll be an 8-point gap. Hamilton will lead.
Hamilton will lead by 8 points in the championship.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not good, is it? Don't forget that. Yeah. So Hamilton. So yeah, Verstappen's got to keep it. That's what it is. But the gap just this close. 4 points between them as it stands as well.
He's third now. What do you get for third?
Why is he third?
I don't know.
He's got past Perez. He's past Perez. Perez is letting through. Perez is letting through. And yeah, we didn't see it on the camera, but Verstappen over the radio saying thank you for that. And he's saying thank you to Checo because Checo's letting go. Team orders at Red Bull as Verstappen's now to P3. That closes the gap, doesn't it?
Perez.
Yep, the race is on. He's being told. So I think what Red Bull want them both to do is to chase after the Team Mercedes. They want Perez to go with Verstappen and catch up to the Mercedes.
You see, unlike Mercedes, Red Bull, they actually tell both of their drivers, go, go, go. Get the other two. Get the other two.
It's closing up now. The race is on.
It's like it doesn't matter which one of you is first. Just go.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm enjoying the French Grand Prix.
Right, so how much is third position worth? Because that could change the championship a little bit.
15 points.
15, so that's 16 points. So
Because he got the bonus point, yeah.
So, I mean, Verstappen will get 121 points compared to 25.
Yeah, let's get them. Perez being told over the radios on Hamilton.
That'll be a 5-point difference.
Hamilton is also being... Oh, Gasly's on the inside trying to attack Carlos Sainz into turn 1. Not paying off there. But Hamilton also just being told over the radio, you can't hold up Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri is quicker than you. So, yeah.
Oh.
What do you do?
Quicker.
What, Mercedes' hands are tied. Unbelievable. What do you do?
I say give up, try next time.
Red Bull might have played a blinder like they did in Baku and in Monaco.
But we still got the issue of Max's tyres.
And the issue if the rain comes down. It's just past
And Perez's.
just past 4 o'clock, and that's when the rain was predicted. Gasly trying to get past Sainz again into the Mistral chicane. Sainz defends, but Gasly slipped up the inside, goes a little bit too late. Sainz trying to come back, hasn't worked out, so Gasly goes into 8th position now. Sainz down to 9th, and Alonso's closing in as well.
How long can the hard tyres last?
So Lewis also saying, is Max going to catch me? And he says, depends on how quick he can get past Valtteri. The gap between Bottas and Verstappen right now is 9.3 seconds.
How many laps can you last on a hard tyre?
25 to 30. So he should be able to make it to the end of the race. He's already done.
Only just about.
He's done 17 laps so
Are we in
far.
the same position as Max?
Yeah, which is what's worrying me as well. And there's a question if, surely as well, we've heard from Hamilton, the front left's already degrading so much. And look at that, the tyres look at that, the rear left
10.
tyre is on 10%, the front left tyre is on 10, rear left on 20, front left on 40. They are done. Those hard tyres are cooked in 14 laps. So he needs to get those tyres as long as possible and then go on
They'll
to
be
the...
cooked before that.
Then he needs to go on to his brand new soft tyres. Look, he's even struggling to make it round turn 13.
Look at the degrading on the side.
Yeah, they're gone. Latifi's questioning it as well. Latifi also reporting that there's a little bit of raindrops at the back half of the track. So that's just coming... Whether that could be anything, though. Spittle from an engine on the back of him.
I'll check the
we'll
weather.
keep an eye out, yeah. Let's take a look, actually, quickly at the driver track, as I said, and see where they are. Where is Nicholas Latifi, if I get my name right? Latifi's now in turn 1. He's just ahead of this little battle now. And it is poor as well. Max Verstappen being told, apologies, Max, your radio is still poor. And Verstappen saying, can you please move your microphone? Yeah, can you please move your microphone? He's being told, because Verstappen's got no communication to the team. The team can talk to him. Verstappen can't talk to the team because you can't hear him. So that's even worse out there from a driver's point of view. Verstappen will be in the overtaking advantage to Bottas within 4 laps. The gap now 7.813 seconds and closing here at Portugal. Look at that, Megan. Rain's coming in and the fog's coming in, so that weather could still play a factor in this Grand Prix.
So what? Whoever is in that forklift, they better get off.
Hamilton is asking as well, Hamilton asking as well over the radio, is he catching up quicker? Answer
Am I
yes.
not deafening me?
Sorry, Megs. And Vettel pits. Vettel down in the pit lane as well. He'll come back out, and there's an overtake as well. Sainz has been passed by Fernando Alonso for 8th place. Alonso goes through on the outside in towards turn 1 and shut the door on him. So that was a great move from Fernando Alonso, showing his fellow Spaniard exactly how it's done into turn 1. Nice move as well. So far, not a yellow flag, not even a safety car in this French Grand Prix. But it has been a great race. I never thought I'd say that. 15 laps to go here at Paul Ricard. Let's hear from Verstappen. Verstappen still can't be heard. Yeah, Verstappen still cannot be heard over the radio.
Weather is very temperamental here. Apparently now it's fine.
So, yeah, the weather's temperamental at Paul Ricard. It'll change over just when we need it as well. I bet we won't have any rain when it needs to be there. But who needs rain? We've got Max Verstappen, who can't talk to the team. He's got no connection to the radio, challenging for the win of this race. I'll tell you what, though. If Verstappen does win this race, hearing him scream over the radio is going to be quite interesting. Going to be like this all the time as well. That's a dad joke right there. He's not even here at the moment.
Bang.
Yeah. But he's going to make that joke now when he comes back in, isn't he? When he comes in the back of the commentary box at the end of the race, he's going to make that joke.
Wonder if he's still watching.
He'll still be watching. He'll be flicking between the two, actually. He's probably got us on another device somewhere, and he's watching the F1 as well. Clouds in the background as well. Nice to have him back, though, for occasional bits of this race. He's still not all that well, but it is Father's Day as well, so he's got other things to do. 36 pace. Oh, now Hamilton's having issues.
Told you.
I don't believe it.
Before.
So Hamilton's now having issues. Look, Bono's headset's broke. Bono's headset's broke and his radio's broke. So Max, hang on a second. So Max can't talk to the team, but the team can talk to Max. Lewis can talk to his team, but the team can't talk to him.
Hold on. I bet Red Bull. We need to make this even.
Anything you can do, I can do better. It's coming out of the pit lane, Charles Leclerc there in front of Hamilton, Latifi and Bottas. I'll tell you what, if one of our headset ever fails up here in the commentary box, we have a backup headset that to put on. Failing that, we've got a backup analog boom microphone just at the corner here that I can't get in shots. And failing that, we've got amples of equipment behind us that we can plug in with handheld microphones and everything, just in case, so that we can still be heard. We've got backups. They haven't got backups. We even have a backup bus mixer in case anything fails. And are you telling me Mercedes doesn't have a spare...
We even have a backup laptop.
Yeah, we do. We've got a backup laptop as well in case the computer goes down on the stream. We've got backups and backups and backups. We've got backup televisions that we can flick to with main feeds. And you're telling me that Mercedes doesn't have another headset for Bono?
Yeah.
Why don't they take the one that's there for Niki Lauda, that's there honourably, and give it to Bono so they can use it?
Yeah. I'm sure Nicky's not going to mind.
Yeah, get him a race win. Because now, this is all bizarre. This is so... Hamilton's driving blind, basically. So is Verstappen. Is it a tip for Bottas to win?
I don't know, though. It says that Verstappen's in striking distance in 7 laps of catching
Lewis,
Hamilton. Yeah. So that ain't looking good.
And we've got 14 laps. Was it 13 laps to go coming up to?
Yeah.
It's game on here at Paul Ricard in a very interesting race. Let's hear. Ah! We can hear Bono. So Hamilton can now hear Bono. Just 2 seconds. So Hamilton getting a full race update here at the moment from Bono. Now we can hear him asking if Verstappen or Bottas are experiencing some vibration. Negative on both. Yeah. Negative on both, though. We know Hamilton is experiencing vibrations. Really bizarre situation going on here right now for the French Grand Prix. Let's have this again. Tyres not feeling great. Lewis is replying as he sounds like a Dalek. Down in towards the chicane area as well. Still not paying off. He is sounding a lot like a Dalek at the moment. He's going to be overtaken, actually, is Lewis, by Latifi.
Like Rusty the Dalek.
Yeah, and Latifi's overtaking him, actually. So Hamilton's tyres are gone. Leclerc's up there as well. It's getting darker at Paul Ricard.
Oh, he sounds a bit like Dalek Khan.
Yeah. Look at that. Dark clouds over. Let's hope we might just miss that. Last thing we need at this late stage is rain. But those clouds are heavy over this circuit. And the Formula 3 race this morning, it just deluged on.
We've got 2 Daleks on the track. Hamilton and Verstappen.
Yeah, both trying to have it. Yeah, actually, because Verstappen really does sound like a broken Dalek at the moment, doesn't he? 41 to 53, Bottas radio. Last 4 laps will be very difficult for Verstappen. But Bottas has already got no front tyres. So Bottas is done on tyres. And Max is closing in. It's the tortoise and hare movement going on right now. The question is, though, can Verstappen get into that position quick enough?
I don't know.
How quick is it going to happen? It's so strange. You're crossing your fingers. You're doing mental calculations. You've got to try and find out exactly when you're going to get past. The battle computer's predicting that Perez will pass Bottas in 7 laps. The other battle computers predicting Verstappen will pass Bottas in 2. But then you've got a further 4-second advantage that you've got to catch up to Verstappen, to Hamilton. And look, the wind's picking up at the track. The track temperature's dropped. It was 37 degrees when we started. It's now 34. Air temperature at 34 as well.
Humidity's at 64%.
Humidity's risen by 10% in the space of this race. The rain is coming. We're in the last closing stages of the race.
The wind's picked up.
How quick? What are we going to have at France? What are we going to have to end this race? I've no idea. Bottas radio. Perez predicted to be passed here in 4 laps.
Do you know where that is? Just as both Mercedes will box.
Yeah, well, they'll box before to go.
They will have to. Their tyres won't make it that long.
This is a tense one.
But do you know what I've also worked out?
What?
Verstappen will also have to box near that point. So are we going to have another Perez victory?
Well, Perez's tyres are older than that, aren't they? Well, are they 17 laps old?
Yeah, though his might make it. He'll have to pit before that.
It's a question of when do you pull
and him passing Lando.
It's a question of when do you pull your cars into the pit lane, isn't it? When do you do it? 14,000 fans here watching this race today as fans in attendance as well, and they're all watching along thinking, what is going to happen next in this race?
If Mercedes want to do it, they should pit Hamilton now and then Bottas in 2 laps.
And put him on soft tyres.
Yeah, actually, change it around. Pit Bottas now, Hamilton in 2 laps because everyone on the same tyre degradation.
But look how dark it's got out there. Would you seriously put your cars into the pit lane right now?
Yeah.
What if it turns it rains and you need to box winters or full wet tyres?
Just take the risk. You'll be able to manage.
Verstappen's got DRS on Valtteri Bottas. I think the question might be muted at this point as well as Bottas comes into the braking zone on the Mistral Straight into the chicane. Bottas is slower so much visibly to Max Verstappen. He's beginning to closing him in. Hand over fist. What's the gap between them all right now? What, 6/10 of a second? Wow.
Yeah. So they can easily. Either way, it's going to be one of the top 4 that are going to get the win because the gap between Norris and Hamilton is like a minute.
The showman saying, come on, Max.
Hamilton.
So basically now, this is Hamilton saying, what times do I need to do? And Bono saying, no, it's about the tyres to race with. So it's on tyre saving. They're all on tyre saving modes.
Right now, the quickest out of the 4 is Max.
Perez.
Yeah.
Fast. No, yeah, Max is quicker. What was it? 137.092, yeah.
But
10 to go. This is so tense. It's unbelievably tense here for the title.
Either way, it's going to be a Mercedes
Bottas.
or Red Bull.
Oh. So Bottas now being told that we could see Verstappen struggle with his tyres later on in the race. Well, Bottas is already struggling with his tyres. Everybody's struggling with their tyres at this Grand Prix.
The rest of the field are now at least a minute behind for top 4.
So it is pretty much a 4-way fight for this win. It's either going to be Hamilton, Bottas, Verstappen or Perez.
Either way, they can all pit twice and still not get attention of
So
Lando.
we are basically waiting to see who's going to come into the pit lane. Bottas goes defensive as well into the braking zone at the Mistral Straight chicane. And Bottas goes too deep. Bottas has gone way too deep. His front tyres are gone. Verstappen's on him. They're side by side in the exit. They're going to be flat out into the sides corner. I can't see this one working out. Bottas surely going to hold him. They're side by side through sides corner. How on earth did they not touch? And Verstappen takes second. Spectacular movement. How did they not touch? A flat out part of the corner. Bottas was got no front tyres. Just locked up at the chicane and Verstappen pounced on him. Now we can see him go after Lewis Hamilton. The gap 5 seconds at the moment.
Valtteri needs to pit now.
Yeah, box Valtteri now. No, he hasn't. He's gone back round.
No, he's got to pit now. His tyres are on 26 and he's not going to make it to the end.
They've let him go through. You can see on the driver tracker, Hamilton is now, 4.9 seconds to Verstappen. Verstappen's way quicker than Bottas, talking through his Megan.
Right, so we can see Max is going round the outside, of which Bottas obviously doesn't want that to happen. Though it's like a trick move, which I sometimes do on Joshua, going round the other side quickly, and then it's
The dummy.
Wait, why is that wing moving so much?
Yeah, that rear wing is actually flexing just a bit much, isn't it, on the side, on the back of Valtteri Bottas's car?
It's like it's moving with the wind.
Yeah, I think it's the high wind out there. But that was a spectacular move, side by side. Verstappen put the car and just kept it, didn't he? Didn't even flinch in the wheel. Took the racing line. It was Bottas who was forced onto the marbles down the Sainz corner. That is a flat-out 8th gear at over 180 miles an hour.
Second place, that's 18 points.
Plus 1.
19.
4-point
So
advantage.
it's 19. So
Hamilton will lead the
that's-
title by 2 points.
Wait.
If my mental math is right, Hamilton will lead by 2 points. The championship.
Let's get a calculator involved. Hold on.
25 points for Lewis.
105.
I'll put Lewis on
Plus-
126.
Plus 19. That's 124. Yeah, he'll lead it by 2 points.
See, quick maths. I can do quick maths just like you can. So Hamilton at the moment stands to lead this title by 2 points. But if Verstappen gets ahead, he'll lead it by 6 because he already had a 4-point advantage, of course. So this is getting close. Bottas radio. Oh. Bottas angry over the radio. Why the bleep did nobody listen to me about boxing and pitting for soft tyres?
You see?
Even he says, yeah.
Bottas wants to pit, though his team won't let him.
Mercedes have thrown this one away. I'm sorry, they should have boxed. They chose the wrong tyre to go on, and Toto knows it. Toto, with his head and his hands covering his glasses as well, he knows it. He's now got to
Tell him to
rely.
box now.
He's box Bottas now, because if anything happens to Lewis, you've also got to think of the Constructors' Championship. Because right now, Red Bull is going to walk away with it. They're still going to lead the Constructors leaving here as well.
Hold on. Let's do calculations for Constructors' Championship. How much will they get?
First and third, that's 25 points plus 15. So that's what? That's 40 points? Yeah, 40 points. So they'll then have extended on 40.
For Mercedes, that's 188.
Yeah.
What about for Red Bull?
More. They'll lead it by 4 points. They'll lead by 4 points in the championship. So yeah. So combined with that time as well for 19 points plus 12 points, they'll lead it clearly. So Red Bull will hold off the Constructors' Championship, but as it stands right now, it'll be Hamilton leading by 2 points in the Drivers' Championship. So that'll ebb and flow again going into Styria next week. And look, Mercedes getting ready. Mercedes are going to box. Are they? They're going to pit Valtteri. No, they haven't. Valtteri's gone through. And Valtteri's now been caught by Perez. So you were right with what you said, Megan, as well. The fact that Perez is now with the DRS and he's on him. Perez has done 22 laps on those tyres. Bottas has done 29. Bottas is locked up already at turn 1. He said over the radio, these tyres are finished. And I thought that was a puncture, into turn 1, didn't you?
So did I.
Yeah. That looked like completely like a
My
puncture.
eyes went wide. I was just like, no.
Yeah, he was on the radio, locked up into turn 1. I thought it just blown. But no, he still keeps going. We've already had punctures with these Pirelli tyres in the past race and a half.
This is like mental gymnastics.
And that weather is getting worse out there. Track temperature now down to 33 degrees. They're going to be destroying these hard tyres. They prefer much hotter conditions. The softs work well in cold because they take less time to get up to temperature. In terms of these track conditions right now, the hards are not the optimum fighting zone. It's that 47 and 53. It looks like, Megan, we're going to avoid the rain, which is great news because this is a thrilling title fight we're watching. Hamilton is 4.8 seconds in front of Verstappen. You've noticed something.
Hamilton's not going to make it. He'll be in the same position as Bottas will be.
Yeah, in 2 hours' time, yeah.
Which means that Verstappen's going to catch him.
Verstappen on 17-lap-old medium tyres might just do it, I was doubtful, but he might just do it. Alonso saying, keep me posted every sector. That's presumably on the tyres as well. And the gap over he's got to Gasly and Vettel at the moment as Alonso's closing in on Gasly. Alonso in for another points-paying position here at the French Grand Prix. That's what I like about this one. It's lap 48 now of 53. There's Sergio Perez. He's chasing down Valtteri Bottas. Bottas has found something else on that last lap as well. And actually, they're coming up to lap one of the Ferraris. Is it Carlos Sainz?
Verstappen will just make it.
Oh, yeah, I think it's Charles Leclerc.
Verstappen will just make it, though Hamilton wouldn't have the pace to
Yeah.
keep going.
It's incredibly close and incredibly tight. Hamilton radio. Hamilton. I hit the curb. That's what I heard.
That's not going to be good for his tyres.
So is he locked up and hit the curb? I want to hear that on a replay. Hopefully we'll get it on the pit lane channel over our headsets in a second. So we can hear that clear because we came in a little bit late on that. I think he said something about hitting the curb.
Yeah,
And it must have just... That's Bottas's radio. 1.1 the gap at the moment, but that's closed. Perez is now 5/10 closing in. And this is Lewis Hamilton. So this is down at turn 6. Where is this? Down at turn 12. Oh, he's going a bit wide. What happened? He's off the track. Hamilton was so little grip at the exit at turn 12, ran off the track and over the curb.
He's back.
Back wheel's done. It's done. And Perez on the inside of Bottas now at Le Boucher, down at turn 12 and 13, where Hamilton went off. So Hamilton's tyres are done. Verstappen's closing him down now. 3.4 seconds. Perez is in there too. Perez is closing him down. Megan?
Whose tyres are that?
Sergio's tyres, yeah.
He needs to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, because it's starting to grain hard on the front right as well, but I think it's still okay. Hamilton radio, 5 laps to go. Gap 3.6. Can I do it? Yeah, is he going to pass me? And 2.9 now at the moment as well. So the Red Bulls are hunting down the Mercedes. They're looking for a 1-2. Hamilton on the radio saying, just leave me to it. Leave me to it, Bono. Can he get the overtake done? Well, can he hold off the overtake? So Red Bull hunting down Mercedes. They want a 1-2 in the Castellet. So far, both races have been won by Lewis Hamilton here. It's been a Mercedes-dominated track since it came back in 2018. Red Bull looked to spoil the party. These trees are giving us a great example.
Catching on to
2 tenths, 3 tenths. It's closing down the Mistral straight. That's why we're watching it now. He's in the DRS zone. He's going to go for a move at the chicane. He's a bit too far back. Bring the braking zone. Bottas goes defensive. Can he make the corner? Yes. Perez takes a wide line. The normal racing line gets on the power. He was so much faster. He had to back out. Otherwise, he would run into the back of Bottas. But he's going to have him round the outside into the Sainz corner.
Yes.
He got the move done. Bottas down to 4th. Perez up to 3rd. That was a beautiful manoeuvre. So Perez onto the podium and Bottas is having errors with the tyres. He tried to turn into the Boucher and it almost went in a straight line. And now he's still trying to fight back on Perez. He's going wide, left and right. He's using up more of the tyres than he's got left.
I think I'm slowly realising that I support Red Bull an awful lot.
And that was a great move by Perez, and Bottas really paying for it now.
That was almost like a Ricardo move.
The team's not saying to come in. Perez, I tell you what, I said so this weekend. Perez has got the confidence now with his car. Red Bull have got 2 drivers that can fight. Mercedes ought to be worried.
That move was used by Alonso earlier on today.
Yeah, round the outside at the sign corner coming into the Boucher.
Yeah.
2.452, the gap between Verstappen and Hamilton at the moment. As we said earlier on in the live championship, Hamilton will lead by just 2 points, 126 to Verstappen on 124. Perez will be on 84 points. He's coming to play at the big boy table.
I'm so glad I made these notes.
4 laps to go, and the Red Bull mechanics saying to Max, there's your boy ahead. Go get him. Race on. 4 to go.
He's faster than him.
1.8 now the gap. It's going to happen. Hamilton had this. Well, I'll tell you what, this is payback, isn't it? Hamilton, if you remember, Hungary 2019, Hamilton box, put on fresher tyres, overtook Verstappen with 2 laps to go. The Spanish Grand Prix they won this year. Hamilton put on fresher tyres, overtook Verstappen, got him ahead. Even in Bahrain he did it. This is now payback as Hamilton over the exit curves as well, bumping the car up in the air as well. This is Verstappen's payback. He's taken a page out of Lewis's book. He boxed for fresher tyres. He's caught him up, and with 3 laps to go, Verstappen's right in the back of Hamilton. This time, Hamilton is used to being the predator. Now he's got to get used to being the prey. Unbelievable scenes. What a great French Grand Prix. I'm so happy we've got this. Usually Paul Ricard doesn't deliver great racing. I take it back. This has been a classic because it's showing us another chapter in this amazing championship battle between the 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton and the young gun attacker in the Red Bull team of Verstappen. Lewis's last lap time, a 1:37.9. Verstappen's last lap time, 1:36.9. Verstappen is a second a lap faster than Lewis, and he's inside that second now. So he's now going to start pushing.
And it's getting closer and closer. Now it's 0.755 gap between the two. Now it's 0.582.
Russell's in 12th place. Russell is dangerously close to points.
Come on, Russell.
And if he's on fresher tyres compared to Sainz and Stroll, if they drop back in the next 2 laps, it's possible.
I'm abandoning the championship now. I'm going straight to Russell. Because that's more exciting right now for me for some reason.
Well, there is a 12-second gap, and we're on the last 2 laps coming up. Verstappen is closing down again on Verstappen's closing down on Hamilton, I should say. 8/10 at the moment as well. Hamilton is regenerating energy as much as he can. This is the segment of the track that he's having a problem keeping the car on. He seems to be okay so far. The gap across the line, 0.5. 0.5. It's closing to less than half a second. He's going to have the DRS. This is the best lap right now. It is the penultimate lap of the race as Perez and Bottas is under investigation by the stewards.
Why?
3rd and 4th under investigation. I'm not too sure why just yet. We'll see why in a moment. Turn 11 incident involving cars 11 and 77 under investigation.
What incident? Because they went off the track a little bit.
Must be overtaking off the track. That's not great news at all. But forget that. Look at this. Hamilton's wide. The gap, 0.014. He's on him. He's on him right now. Hamilton is under pressure so much.
He's going to get past. He's going to get past.
He's got the DRS. Verstappen's going to send it on the inside. Hamilton goes defensive. Verstappen sends it down to the Mistral chicane. And Verstappen leads the French Grand Prix. And the Dutch fans go wild in the grandstands. He's done it again. Verstappen gets past Hamilton. Hamilton's on the fight back. He's not going to let him go.
Hamilton's losing pace to it. It's nearly the second gap between the two.
So it's Max Verstappen who's turned into the predator. He's taken the tip from Lewis and he's got him. He pitted for fresher tyres. The question now is, with a big grain, can he make the last lap? We've seen this happen before.
I tell you what, now Verstappen's leading on 131 points compared to Hamilton's 119.
Wow, what a French Grand Prix. What a title fight we've seen. There's Verstappen sending at the inside at the Mistral chicane, getting ahead. Hamilton could do nothing. The gap over a second on the last lap. Simply lovely. Max's race engineer says over the radio, Red Bull are delighted with that one. Certainly, we are delighted with that one because it's going to change it.
Last lap.
40. It's going to be 4 wins for Max Verstappen in 2021. 3 wins to Lewis Hamilton.
Did I tell you this was predicted with the game?
You told me that yesterday when we were doing the commentator challenge and you won and took it to 4-3. You said it was more like a Verstappen and Hamilton situation. How right you were, because Verstappen at the moment has only got a couple more
Hamilton's 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, he's dropped further back. His tyres are gone completely
There's no
now.
way he can even get up there now.
The question of the hour now is are we going to see in fact Perez could finish second still, 7.5 seconds back at the moment.
All depends about the investigation.
Great job right now as well.
Toto looking really depressed.
I'm not surprised, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Great job for McLaren. They're going to finish 5th and 6th in this race. Norris 5th, right, Ricciardo 6th. They're going to move well ahead of Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. But it has been a lesson learned because it took them Hungary to learn this in 2019. It took them Bahrain this year. It took them Barcelona this year to learn. Do the undercut like Lewis and reap the rewards. For once, he's no longer the prey. He turned into the predator, and Max Verstappen can enjoy victory in the Castellet and extends his title lead and wins the French Grand Prix after a simply magnificent drive with a perfect strategy. Red Bull and Max proving they can take it to Mercedes in our first straight dogfight we've had between the two this year, and this time it's Verstappen, the magic lion, who's done it. Hamilton second and Perez in third. Red Bull retain the lead of the Constructors' Championship as well. It's Red Bull's party in France, and this title well and truly on. And I can't wait for Stereo in Austria in next weekend, because guess what track that is? Red Bull's track. And for the first time, they go there as leading both the drivers and the Constructors' Championship, and Max has won there twice before.
Certainly seems like a good thing for Red Bull coming up next time. Yeah, it's next week, isn't it? Oh,
Next
that's gonna
week,
be dramatic.
the Styrian Grand Prix next weekend, the weekend after the Austrian race.
Now I'm contemplating even going off.
Fireworks flying around. Lando Norris comes
I
home.
might end up doing it, you know.
Lando Norris comes home P5 as the smoke at the back of the pit lane. I hope it's fireworks or the smoke screen. Danny Ricciardo comes home in P6. Gasly is 7th. Alonso 8th. Vettel gets points again in 9th. And Lance Stroll, Aston Martin's first double points finish in Formula 1 with Stroll 10th. Sainz is 11th.
Verstappen.
They've been listening to us. For once, they were the hunter. And Megan, 87 minutes precisely. Your calculation bang on.
Yes.
Well done. You said 87 minutes and you were bang on with that prediction. Well done. So, yeah, Megan being our race strategist. Round of applause to you, Megs. And Megan, race control. No further action between Perez and Bottas. So
Yes.
Perez keeps the podium. And it's an extra bonus point as well for Max Verstappen. So it's actually, 26 points he gets for this race compared to Hamilton's 18. So it's an even bigger, he extends the 4-point gap.
131 to 119.
Oh,
That's a 12-point difference.
12-point gap going into Austria. Now, I don't want it to get that far. Let's let Lewis win the next one. And
Yeah.
we need to have it a close between the two.
Or at least if Red Bull win next time, then at least let Lewis win the next two to make it a bit more exciting.
Perez is closing in as well.
Yeah, that's
And
okay.
can we just say also that Mercedes have not won a race since May? In early May as well at the Grand Prix of Spain. They haven't won a race in Spain. Monaco was
a
one,
month and a half.
3 races in a row. Red Bull have won. They won Monaco. They won Baku. They've now won again here at Paul Ricard. Red Bull on a 3-race winning streak for the first time since 2013.
Well, I can say that with the addition of Perez winning third, that's 15 points?
15 points, yeah.
So now Perez is up into
Third place.
84th.
84 points, yeah.
Yeah,
So he's
84
closing in as well in the
positions.
title fight.
Yeah, and Bottas isn't even close. I mean, next up on the championship
Norris.
is Norris.
And he's
then
kept
it's
it.
Leclerc.
And Norris has kept it as well because he's finished 5th ahead of Bottas. So he's 2 points lost there. So, yeah. Max sits on the halo as well. Congratulates him. What a fantastic race that has been. What a great race, actually, we've had here today for the French Grand Prix. I never thought I'd enjoy the French Grand Prix more, honestly.
I know, right?
2018
Red Bull celebrating.
2018 was so boring. 2019 was even worse. Only 4 on-track overtakes. God knows what's happened here today. But that was a classic. A fantastic French Grand Prix. And I'm so happy that's happened. And certainly, no one was bored in that race.
Yeah, I think this is Red Bull's best duo to have since
Oh,
I don't even know.
Not even Ricciardo and Verstappen. This is their
No.
best duo since Webber and Vettel.
Yeah.
So all the way back in 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, that 5-year gap. This is their best duo since then. Verstappen and Perez, they work really well together. For once, Max has got a teammate, since Danny left, he's got a teammate that can actually keep up with him.
Yeah.
And this is great. And Hamilton finishing in second place as well. Waves to the crowd. Hasn't really had a great run today. And correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't the position stayed how it was at the start of the race? Apart from,
I think.
the top two are still the same, Verstappen and Hamilton. Perez moved up to third ahead of Bottas, and Carlos Sainz dropped way down out of the points. Sainz started fifth, finished 11th. Really bad race for him today, out there on the board. But I would say that's a pretty successful one. NLRC Argen, also the BBB Sports Champion Series and of NLRC's Racing Series as well, says, come on, Max. I bet you're happy right now as well. Synthol watching on later. I bet you're happy with that one as well. Beth and Gwenville watching on as well. Beth, I hope you're happy with Danny Ricciardo being in P6. Great result for him. The Aussies down under having a bit of a party, I hope, later. We'll go through the full results in a few moments' time. Just trying to turn the lap counter off at the moment, but it won't seem. There we go. It won't seem to go off at the moment. So let's go through the results then. It is Max Verstappen victorious from Lewis Hamilton second, Sergio Perez is third, Valtteri Bottas fourth, Lando Norris fifth, Danny Ricciardo is sixth, Pierre Gasly 7th, Fernando Alonso 8th, Sebastian Vettel 9th, and Lance Stroll rounds out 10th in the order as well.
And as Max breaks his earphones...
Oh, that's not great. That's going to have new gel put in.
It seems like the problem was...
He's cracked it, yeah. So
it must have been cracked for a race.
So his ears have cracked. So his microphone and earplugs have cracked. In the Drivers' Championship, as Megan said, Verstappen now leads on 131 points to Hamilton on 119. Perez is on 84. Norris on 76 as well. So that's closing up. But what a title fight we've got here coming up as well.
I'll have to change this.
Yeah, can't wait for that.
Lucky I thought ahead and did it in pencil.
Let's go back later on in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull leading on 215 points to Mercedes on 178, McLaren on 110, Ferrari on 94, AlphaTauri 45, Aston Martin 40, Alpine 29, 2 still for Alfa Romeo, no points again for Haas or for Williams. Although they got close, didn't they? Because Russell was in 12th today.
They did get close.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Max wipes his head. I'm going to need a wipe of that as well, actually. And surprisingly, I might have to use that dry shampoo before we go into the commentary box for Formula E later on tonight.
Oh, what time's that?
9:45 for the second race in Puebla. Because yesterday's race was fantastic as well. Yeah, I can't wait to see what today's going to be.
That.
Yeah, so today's race is going to be even better, I hope. Martin Brundle hosts the post-race interviews. Can't show any of that, of course, so we'll go through the results from 11th downwards because we already did the top 10. 11th was Carlos Sainz, then it's George Russell, Yuki Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi, Charles Leclerc, Kimi Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi, Mick Schumacher, and Nikita Mazepin, making it only the 4th time this year, I believe. No, even that. 7 races in? This is only the 2nd time this year, after Monaco, that every car that started the race has finished.
It has.
Yeah.
We had no crashes.
No crashes, not even a yellow flag.
We didn't, did we?
Nothing, and that was a great race. No yellow flags, no spinners, no accidents, and it was perfect. And that just proves how good racing can be, because that was pure racing, and we enjoyed that.
Huh. I didn't even notice that we didn't have a yellow flag. It was odd.
And the rain kept away, which is, it turns out quite good, because we were kept with that great race. I've completely emptied my water bottle, by the way. So that's a bit of a disappointment for the last 10 minutes of this show. Just coming up, I hope, on 10 minutes. But yeah, can't wait. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that one. We certainly did. We'll go to the social screen at the end of when we go up to the podium as well, because then it's the end of the race. We've already seen the results. Let's hear what Hamilton has to say. Just turn up the fader and I'll translate for you. Hamilton saying, Martin asking, somehow you were finding some speed and some grip. And Hamilton actually being civil, congratulating Max Verstappen for that one. He's been off the pace all weekend. No, it hasn't. Difficult Friday. I didn't win and after leading for so long. Yeah, it was the tyres, Megan. You can turn the phone down. It was the tyres that caused the issue today a lot, wasn't it? And that's what plagued them a lot. The tyres
like
having
I
an issue.
said,
Yeah.
I knew that Hamilton wouldn't be able to
Get to the end of the race, yeah.
Yeah, I knew that Verstappen would have just a little bit more pace than he would.
Yeah. That is I'm so happy right now. I really am. That was a great race. And it's weird seeing Hamilton as the prey. And Verstappen has come up and took him completely by surprise. And 3 bad races in a row now for Lewis. Oh, not even off the points, off the podium last time out in Baku, off the points in Monaco. And now he's back on the podium, but he's still got, 12-point gap? That's the same as what Hamilton managed to pull after winning in, where was it? Portugal and Spain.
Yeah.
Going into Monaco. So maybe Max will have problems in Austria. We saw it, he had problems last year.
Yeah.
On the opening lap of lap 8 of the first race last year in Austria, because of COVID, the season got delayed.
But I know it's a Red Bull track.
Yeah. Can I also point out as well that by this time last year, we haven't even started the season yet due to COVID.
True.
And we've already had, 7 great races for Formula One.
Though you've got to think, maybe Max might crash out.
Yeah.
Though maybe Lewis won't win. Perez will.
It's certainly been a day of surprises and a day of, I want to say, underdogs, hasn't it? Really, if you think about it. Because we can't mention obviously, but the MotoGP race.
Yeah,
that was a surprise. Go back and watch that on the YouTube channel.
That was good.
Talking as well, Formula One has been a surprise, and I think we're going to have a great race. Puebla coming up for Formula E later on tonight in Mexico. That should be another great one. Qualifying is at 5:45 British Summer Times on the BBC iPlayer and Eurosport 2. And we'll be live for watch along for the race itself at 9:45 as well. Tomorrow on the BBB Sport channel, we've got full race rerun of the Champion Series race from Bahrain. I think Carter Lundy is commentating on that one due to my absence in the commentary box for the past 2 weekends. So that's on BBB Esports tomorrow, the Champion Series. From Bahrain, we'll have a full race rerun for you, so you can all see it on Twitch. But it'll also be available on YouTube, I reckon, as well, live. But join us on Twitch for it tomorrow. I'll present the show as well, and Carter Lundy will be in the commentary box. Yeah. And I'll be back for the last 2 races starting next weekend, because I was away last weekend, and this weekend we've got everything on at once. Don't know what happens when we get to don't know when we get to New York yet. We'll have to schedule the calendar around that one.
Ooh.
Max Verstappen, though, winning. It's a fog machine that got sent off in the pit lane, I think, and a fire extinguisher that got delivered off.
I'm going to have to add Max's name here.
I have a pen like that if you want it. It's over here somewhere. I had it on the desk, and oh, here it is. I had it in my lovely pencil case that you gave me. I have a pen like yours if you want to add Verstappen's name to your list of standings books that you've got up here in the comms box. Victory once again for Red Bull. If I get to my driver stats, I can tell you that for Max Verstappen, it is victory number 13 of his career. I'm looking for some, for victory number 13 as well. It is podium number 48 in his career. And for Red Bull, it's victory number 68.
Driver standings.
That's it. That's in terms of who won the race, yeah.
I have every race on here, even ones that to be continued.
Yeah,
we
to be
don't
decided
know about
races.
one of them.
Yeah. Well, the race that's going to replace Singapore.
Yeah,
we don't know about
that,
do we? No,
happening or not.
Yeah, the 1st to the 3rd of October is currently where that date is put in.
Yeah, so I put a little thing.
Personally,
here.
I think we might have 2 races in Texas. That seems the most likely to happen as well. To have back-to-back races at Texas. But I have heard also that Malaysia could come into play, Turkey, Nürburgring.
I kind of want the Nürburgring.
Nürburgring coming into play as well, but they learned their lesson there. They went there on the first weekend of October last year and got snowed down on Friday and rained out on Friday. So
that'd be fine.
I don't remember how bad the Nürburgring was
Go there
though.
if it's good weather.
Do you remember how boring the Nürburgring was there last year?
Yeah, though you said the same thing about France.
That's a good point. That's a good rebuttal there, Megan. And personally as well, I'd like to give it another shot because the team's never got enough practice time in. Yeah. And if we had sprint qualifying at the Nürburgring, that might make it a bit more exciting. That's coming up, though, the British Grand Prix as well. There's the monkeys. What was it? It's a gorilla, isn't it, actually? It's a gorilla.
I think.
The trophies of the gorillas as well, with the French flag on it, the blue, white and red. And everyone getting ready now to cross over. We'll go off air as well after the podium. have a quick debrief, and then we'll be back on air later. I think what time is it? 7 or 8? No, it's 8 o'clock, isn't it, for the Grand Prix review tonight? 8 o'clock for the Grand Prix review.
Yeah.
For like 20 minutes, and then it's
Then it's
9:45 for
Then it's
Formula
FE.
E. Yeah, FE, Formula E. There's Max, driver of the day, Max Verstappen. And radio interview. So Rosanna Tennant now doing the radio interview, driver of the day. That was only on the Pit Lane channel last time. And Max saying congratulations, thanks to all the fans as well. Driver of the day is Max Verstappen with 22% of the vote.
So he's won the day.
Yeah, and there's Rosanna Tennant commentating as well for the interview. She's the Pit Lane reporter this weekend, not the lead commentator, because that lead commentary for that crazy race went to Tom Gaymore. And Tom Gaymore was commentating on F1 TV this weekend as well. I hope he had a very enjoyable commentary. Of course, Tom, a world-famous commentator nowadays as well on World Endurance, IndyCar and Formula 1. Now, actually, I think he'll leave from the Pit Lane channel. He'll leave now. He'll get in his car and he'll drive to Sky headquarters in London, which is about a 55-minute drive. And he'll go and get ready and sit himself down to commentate on the IndyCar that's live at Road America in round about 1 hour and 45 minutes time. So he has got to really hurry up and hope there's no traffic. Yeah. Got to get there and hope there's no traffic. On to the podium then, finally. And it's Sergio Perez finishing in third place. Double podium in a row, by the way, as well. It's only his 12th podium of his Formula 1 career. Lewis Hamilton out there as well. Podium number 170 in his Formula 1 career. And you know, since he won in Spain and took his 100th pole position, he's not had a pole or a win. Surprised. And Max Verstappen on top as well. The top step of the podium for the 13th time. Podium 48. We'll hear the national anthem of the Netherlands.
But of course,
we have to talk over it for copyright issues. Because we're allowed to play it in the background as background music, but you have to provide your own narrative over it.
Which is perfectly fine.
Actually, no, we can be quiet. It's not real, so we can be quiet, actually. Let's listen. It's a live performance, so we can actually listen to it and enjoy it as you would. Now, the Austrian national anthem for Red Bull. Certainly took a long one, doesn't it? The Austrian national anthem in terms of a theme.
Dutch.
Yeah. So that is it. The Grand Prix has been concluded, and the big trophy will be presented to Max Verstappen, his 13th victory in Formula 1. Unlucky for some, because this one gives him an extended lead in the Drivers' Championship. Red Bull pick up victory number 68 of their long career as well. 3 race wins on the bounce. 7 wins in total then in 2019. and 21, maybe 8 actually thinking about it. No, can't remember. It's something like that. Can't remember. 3 wins, 4 wins for Max, 1 win for 5 wins. Yeah, it's right. 5 wins with Perez's third place being taken as well. Podium number 12. Hamilton podium number 170. Still waiting for wins 99 and 100. Hasn't taken a single pole since Spain and he won last. It's champagne time here at Paul Ricard. It is Max Verstappen celebrating with his Red Bull mechanics and his teammate Sergio Perez. Lewis Hamilton finishes in second. Red Bull have the extended championship lead, and both drivers and constructors, Lewis being silver on the podium. What a great race we've got coming. That's the first one of a triple header completed. Let's head over to Austria for 2 races at the Red Bull Ring. The Styrian and Austrian Grand Prix coming up. And now we'll fade over to the social screens and take a look at some of the comments throughout the race as well as we go to wind down the evening. As you can see, Beth was already talking throughout the race as well, saying Danny Rick looking good for 5th. All in all, the Mercs calls total on the wall. That might be my favourite one. The Snowman saying, come on, Max. And NLC Argent saying, come on, Max as well. They've brought it home indeed. Megan, sum up. Who's your driver of the day?
I'm going to have to say, even though it's very unusual, though Bottas.
Okay, fair point. Bottas driver of the day.
He put up a good fight.
I agree there.
Especially on rubbish tyres.
Yeah, I'd like that one. My driver of the day, I think, would go to Lance Stroll. Got a point in 10th. Yeah, got a point after starting at the back of the grid. And Sebastian Vettel also. Fernando Alonso gave us some great moves today, actually, as well. He was a good one. I did enjoy that one. Okay, that's it all done then here for 2021. Oh, Sky F1 cap on for Nico Rosberg at the moment. So how warm is it out there as well? It's quite nice. They've got caps these days. I didn't know that. We could do with some caps. Hey, Luke Easton, I know you're watching, mate. Get us some caps with the logos on. We could do with that. We could do some caps like that. Right, that's it. We're all wrapped up then here for the French Grand Prix. Right, we're back 8 o'clock tonight for the Grand Prix review. And then we'll be live again at 9:45 British Summer Time for, are you ready for it? The Puebla Prix Race 2 for ABB Formula E as well, where that title fight is hotting up. In terms of Formula 1, we'll be back next weekend for the Styrian Grand Prix, the second race, the triple header, and also we'll be back next weekend for the MotoGP race for the TT Assen at the Assen circuit as well, for the Netherlands Grand Prix as well. My thanks to Megan for all coverage this weekend of Formula 1, been in every single session. How have you found it? Weird? Exhausting, yeah. Thanks to Ian Birch as well for popping in as well, just for a couple of laps as well, because it was Father's Day. We wanted to get him in for a little bit. He's still not feeling ship-shape, but I'm sure he'll be back with us in Styria with loads of notes and jokes and anecdotes to talk to us about as well. Right, we'll be back later. We're off for a meal, and we'll be back for the Formula E. From us all here, though, thanks for your company. It's bye for now.